Dancing lights to another day in the world of Elsperia. Join us as we continue to discover and explore. Joining me, we have Zareth, the half-elf assassin rogue.
Evening, people.
Borden, the dwarven cleric of Kazia.
Hello.
Insidaria, the divine warlock of Illumina.
Good evening, guys and gals.
Oscar, the half-elf draconic sorcerer. Razor, unmute yourself.
Hey.
And Leslin, the elven arcane archer.
Everything.
Last time, we, did fuck all. Alright, here we are. No. We basically called in those who were here. There are 3 NPCs that were meant for their stations and whatnot. And we kind of went over the hiring situation with those girls and gals and guys that you all had that came in. Also, we had an encounter with Zareth where he went to try to recruit a beggar into his little scenario that he was trying to develop. Unfortunately, he wound up losing his dagger in the process, but he got it back in the same manner as he met 3 wandering urchins who were working for this beggar apparently. But this beggar was not persuaded by Zareth's words to help him in any way because he had no leadership qualities that appealed to him at the time. So with that, we were going to have Lucille come in, but, you know, we were still missing a lot of main people who I felt should have been there whenever she came around. So we got a lot of stuff out of the way, and now we're getting to, like, mid part of the day. I'd say it's about 3 in the afternoon or so. And that would be about the time that whoever's at the dancing light building would hear a knocking on the door.
I open the door.
Yeah, and there you would see Lucille. Now, Riley seems to be missing, but he must be on break. But she was just knocking on the door. Oh, hello, good evening. Or afternoon, I mean.
Afternoon, please, do come in.
And Lucille steps in there. So, you guys wanted to see me about a job offer that you were talking about, so here I am.
Yes. Can I offer you something to drink?
What do you have?
Cindy, what's in the kitchen?
We have some light, green tea, if you want some.
Yeah, tea will work.
Well, I'll start making.
Is there anywhere we need to sit, or...
Yeah, come on, let's move to the living room. Borden is out of the house right now. He had something to do with his
the house for.
so...
Well, we don't know where you are. Where are you at? Where's Borden?
Apparently I entered, like, fucking hammer space or something.
Let's see. Well, it's like, how do we explain how you were gone for most of the morning? Like, maybe you had to pick up supplies for your, smithing area, and you just got back about 2 o'clock, so you've been probably out in the back this whole time.
Sure.
Oscar is going to be walking out about this time.
Yeah, and Oscar's down there.
Like, walking out the front door.
Oh. Okay, and yeah, she's just gonna be like, where's he going? Well, none of my business. Oscar walked out. Where's Oscar going then? Everybody else seems to be...
I'm going to the Adventure School.
Alright. So, who's all gonna be in this living space? I mean, how are we setting this up?
I am there. Sarah.
I'm going with Oscar, by the way.
Alright. And Sydney's making tea, right?
That is correct.
And Borden, you could choose to make yourself available here if you like.
Yeah, I'll pop into the, living space.
Yeah, you enter in through the back door there, and you can see Zara having a seat with Lucille, and then you just kind of show up, and everybody's like, "Ah, there's Borden." And she kind of stands up for a minute. Ah, good dwarf. Well, hello. I came like you asked.
Ah, it's good to see you.
Yes. Yeah, she's still kind of standing, waiting for you to come over, and she'll shake your hand or offer
Yeah,
a
I'll take
hand.
your hand and, guide her to a seat. Have a seat. We'll get this all sorted out for you.
Oh, all right. Thank you. So, well, what all help do you need exactly? I think we talked briefly about it, but I'm not full on the particulars. Excuse me.
Well, you said you weren't too comfortable working with the any kind of numbers, stock inventory. But we do still have an opening for, if you just want to help keep the place tidy while we're out, because we do tend to leave for somewhat extended amount of time.
All right. Sure. Like, what would need? I mean, I understand like general tidying, but um, what are the particulars? I guess I should ask. Like pay wise and days you need me to come in.
I'm pulling up other notes that I had for other things real quick, because I had it jotted down.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Well, I believe we
Alright.
discussed for about 2 gold, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's about the average that everybody else has been hired on through the guild.
If all the businesses are up and running, yeah, just a daily, 2 gold a week. Just come in, make sure everything's set back to normal. We don't have a full-on receptionist, but if someone comes in and asks for us, just leaving a note about who came and when.
Well, the 2 gold is per day. But you can have her like come in maybe twice a week or something like that.
Well, twice a week a day sounds reasonable.
I don't know how messy like the bakery space will end up being.
Now, just so you know, your people should be able to clean up after themselves. But, she would be there to help kind of tidy that up to an extent. But, like, what you're also asking her to do, like, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the way I'm seeing it. Like, when you're asking her to tidy things up and be a maid for you, you're also asking her to go up to your room, straighten your beds, take out any dirty laundry, clean it. She's basically going to be doing your dishes, your laundry, and taking care of, like, dusting duties and keeping the house clean, swept. Keeping the living
I
space
figure we
livable.
can take care of our own shit when we're in town. Because we
Right.
shouldn't have dirty clothes appearing when we're out.
Well, you know how them fairies sometimes get in there and start having parties while you're gone. No, I don't know.
That's in the other.
That would be so nice if it happens for once.
Oh, don't throw it out there.
It'd be a little messed up.
Well, I'm just trying to see how much work she's going to have and then try to compare to how many times does she need to come in and do it, and then how much is reasonable, and then we can go from there. Like, they're all having, like, the actual conversation, but we're having the mechanic conversation out of character. So, like, whatever's going on in character is, like, what's going on, but out of character, we're just trying to figure out what all do we want her to mess with. Like, do you want her to go into your room while you're away and keep it dusted or whatnot?
Yes, I believe Leo far in the past set something up like that.
And then, like, I mean, still, you're also trusting this woman that she won't steal anything from you. So think about that. But this is me. So, or you. I don't know. Things to think about. Like, if you want her in your room to clean up while you're gone, that's fine. Otherwise, she won't. She'll definitely just do the sweeping, laundry, and, just the basic maid duties that come along with the house or building.
She would allow be entered my.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
So, how many days a week do you think she need to come in and do her duties? Like, 2 is just an off suggestion. Like, if you want her to come in every day, that's fine too. But, like, every worker is getting 2 gold per day. So, if you want to compare it to that right there, I mean, you can offer her probably 1 gold per day. And then she has, like, a half a day work, you know, like, she doesn't have to work the full day, just finish her job and get out. I'm offering you options. You figure out what you want, and then we finish this scenario and move on to the next.
Well, how big is the house actually in size?
It's 2 stories with a basement.
Technically 3 if you think of it like that. Let me see here. Didn't I give you a diagram?
Yeah, you did, but it had no measurements. Like, I want to know the grand
Whoa,
feet.
the square footage would be the same as on the map.
So you're saying this is drawn to scale?
I would say so, yeah. Well, let me double check though. Yeah. 110 feet by 90 feet. I mean, that's a lot of square footage to clean, but, you know. I mean, we don't really have to overthink this. If you want to do 1 gold per day and then have her come in 5 days a week, that's fine, and you can mark that for 5 gold a week.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me.
I'm like, you don't have to really overthink this, because, like, they're having an actual conversation. Like, she's asking, how much are you willing to pay? How many hours a week do I have to work? Do you want me to come in every day? And then you're, like, giving her the responses that we're kind of going over in mechanics. You know, and so if you want to just put her down for 5 a week, she'll come in, like, 4 hours a day, do the cleaning, and then take the weekends off.
You know, just like Monday, Wednesday, then a half day on Friday, a gold a week.
Yeah.
No, a gold a day, and then she comes in, like, in the mornings for a bunch of hours to tidy stuff up.
Yeah, I would figure, like, 4 hours a day, and then she leaves. Like,
But
by-
while we're out, I'm not assuming that, you know, other employees will be creating much of a mess that they don't clean up themselves.
Question. Percentage wise, would it give bonuses? Because it's all the time. No.
Say, wait, you're cutting out. What are you asking?
Percentage was like, since it
Presentation?
presentation wise, since every day, would it get any bonuses or no?
Well, your tier of items that you bought for your stations will give you the bonuses. So yeah,
Okay.
you're already getting a bonus on presentation. So if there's certain things that need to happen, like if you're actually running it through the week, then we might actually have like actual customers come in and make orders. But other than that, we're just going to assume that your staff, your crew is learning everything you're teaching them, and then eventually they're just going to take that over for you, and you can use that kitchen whenever you want. In your instance, anyway. And same goes for Borden. He'll be able to use his forge whenever he wants. That's his fucking forge, you know? And then the alchemy, of course, same thing, you know? Just got to get these workers going, and then you're going to start building on an income every week, and then just pay the workers. So I'm just going to say 5 gold a week for her. She comes in whenever she's needed. In the story. I mean, that's all you have to do for that. But, after you guys finish talking shop, is there anything else you want to talk to her about? Because I know you're interested in her story, perhaps.
I mean, I'm assuming there's been no change in the status of Parslow.
Well, you're free to ask her about it. So you guys finish your conversation. He says, I guess that'll do. I'll come in first thing Monday morning and start then. Will that be fine?
And she's got nothing to say about Harslow, then yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna ask, you haven't asked it.
I mean,
you're asking me.
you know,
Ask her. Shit, she's right there.
I found sent the tea, but
Oh yeah. He brought some tea over. If you were to ask her about Harslow, she will inform you. Well, we got a strange letter from him the other day. But I guess he's doing all right. He seems to be up in the mountains, hunting prey that's going up there. I guess he's trying to do his old trapping scenarios.
What do you mean by strange?
Well, it's just strange that he's not home anymore, for one. For two, he went into the mountains without telling us, and then he decides to send a letter. Even that's strange.
So, he doesn't go in the mountains often, or he doesn't ride, or both?
The latter more than the first. I mean, he used to go in the mountains all the time, and then he had a job for a while, and then he lost that job, and I didn't think he'd want to do the mountain work anymore.
Do you mind if I take a look at the letter?
Oh, I did not bring it with me, though. Sorry. Maybe if you...
No worries.
Maybe if you come by some other time, but I was just coming over here for the interview.
No, understandable. Well, hopefully your husband is alright.
Well, if what's in the letter says what it's true, then yeah, I suppose he is. And she'll finish her tea, set the tray down. Well, thank you for having me. I'll be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then I see you Monday morning, I guess.
Absolutely. And then she'll see herself out. Unless there's
Oh,
any...
I walk
I
her
would-
to the door.
So I'd give her that paper I was talking about, you know, the one that's like, yeah, I'm allowed to be here, not home invasion.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sure. Alright, that'll work. So she gets like a paper that says she's allowed to be here to do work. Cool. So... So she'll work for 5 gold a week doing maidly duties. Like, she'll come in whenever she's needed and do whatever needs to be done. So we have Oscar and Lucilin going to the guild, and as I have informed most of everybody here, that the bounty board, job board has been updated. There's a few new items there.
Yes. And I will pick out the one about a cult.
Alright. I just want to let you all know there is like a messenger that came by in the morning and gave you guys the missive one. And if anybody wanted to read it, it's the last entry. But the, what is it? The scales abound?
Yes.
So, a dark cloud hangs over Dragonspine. Rumors of occultists stealing away farm animals and ransacking supply sheds. So, yeah, one would have to meet with Sister Albright in Dragonspine's Church of Illumina. So, you take this request here in particular. Is there anything else the
Yes,
two of
and
you were
I'm
doing?
going to go to the clerk of the Aventurously.
Uh-huh.
Do you happen to know where Dragonspine is? Is it located in Timor?
Yeah, it's like on the way to Felran. Or just a little ways past Felran, actually. Did you know the gate was made out of an actual dragon spine?
It's very interesting. I'll have to go visit there, and I'll be taking this.
Oh,
This
yes.
job.
Alright, well, sure thing. I'll mark you down for it. You're with Dancing Lights, right?
Yes.
Alright. Thought I recognized you. Now, is there anything else you guys are doing here?
This one?
Not really. I just came with him to see what he was up to.
Alright, so the pair of you find a job that Oscar is thinking about taking on. And then you make your way back. Is there anywhere else you need to go beforehand, or are we just going back to the house?
I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, there's no shopping that I really need to do personally.
Oh, Oscar, picked up this little trinket for you. And I'll hand him the squirrel feather.
Thank you.
Fortunately, I thought about it and I figured that trying to catch from the squirrel won't work out for me. So I thought maybe I'd hand it to you as well, just in case things go south and you have to save the most important people of the group.
Well, thank you very much.
You're mighty welcome.
As you're walking back, you see 3 young children playing in the streets. 1 girl and 2 boys.
Okay.
They look like they're dancing around one person, and he's got like a bag in his hand. He's like, "Hey, quit it, you kids!" And he starts stepping back, and then the kids like laugh and cheer, and then they run away.
Okay. Obviously, just messing with the guy running messages.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep walking back.
Well, as you do, they come running around the 2 of you. What's your passive perception?
11.
15.
Well, the young girl, she like pats you on your belt for some reason, and then she's like trying to tag at her friend that just went behind you. You deliberately catch, I would say Oscar deliberately catches one of the boys trying to grab your pouch of gold, and you just instinctively put your hand over it. And then he realized, oh, he's busted, he can't go for that. And then they just kind of dance around you a little more, and then they try to run away.
I'm going to use a prestidigitation and have an awful smell just surround me.
Loosely, you smell an awful smell around him. Apparently,
Although
Oscar...
precipitation could make an even worse smell around me.
So the 2 of you are having a gas contest.
And we've employed skunks. Fucking great.
Do they run away?
Well, they already left.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'll dissipate it then.
Yeah, like they already did what they did and they left. I need to see something though. Let's see who's got what. But anyway, you make your way back, or is there anything you want to do in this moment?
I'll ask Oscar what the hell that was about.
I have no idea.
Did I see them going for the gold or just Oscar?
I would hope you had a higher perception than I did.
I do.
Well,
But he said you saw it.
Well, it was on him that they were after at the moment. I would say you probably saw that one, yeah.
Okay, I'll just check my stuff to see if... Damn straight rats.
Okay, I know it's gone. Alright, hold on. Let me look at your stuff too. But yeah, you got... Is Lucelyn the only one checking his stuff?
Those are the only 2 out.
No, I mean, yeah, between the 2 of you, Lucelyn's the only one said he's checking his stuff.
And yeah, I kind of caught him. I'm just gonna keep going home.
So you need to mark the Featherfall scroll and give it to him, right?
Yeah.
You had a pair of manacles on you, didn't you?
Yeah.
They're gone.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently they picked that off you. And if Oscar's not going to check himself, that'll be the end of it. So you make it back to the place, and as you're like getting closer to heading back, you also see Lucille, this woman who they just hired as a maid, walking out, and Riley coming off of his break or something. He's like, "Oh, ma'am, you need help walking home or anything?" No, I'll be fine. And then the two of you kind of approach, and Riley kind of nods and waves at both of you. Welcome back.
Hello. We picked up a job while we were out.
Oh, well, I'm sure you want to tell the rest of the guys. Then, please, go right on in. And he'll resume his watch at front. That was Riley, just so you know.
Okay, I'll go inside. And, try to meet up with the rest of the group.
Raleigh, you see a bunch of little kids running around free.
Mm-hmm.
Watch your shit.
I see what you're saying. Alright, I'll be sure to do that.
I'll head inside.
Alright. So you walk in, and everybody's pretty much in the living space that's off to the, far back in. Where the fireplace is.
Hello? If you all don't mind, I have picked us up a job since, we haven't had one in a while, and I felt like I needed to, stretch my muscles, so to say, to advance my arcane arts to become powerful enough to help with these vampires that we've been so, can't think of the word.
Getting ready for? That's just me.
Well, yeah.
So, where does this job take us?
Takes us to Dragonspine. It's
Where
just
is
past
that?
Fairburn.
Got a map of that region.
Yeah, and if you were to check that map...
Give me a minute.
Yeah, you want to check...
Give me a minute. I'm going to my
I've got
room
the
and
map.
going to take it
Oh, what do you want to say, Borden?
off my wall and bring it down.
Alright, Borden, what do you want to say?
I've got a map of the Felrand area.
He's got an oversized one that he went to go fetch anyway. But yeah. So, yeah, he tells you Dragonspine.
What the hell, man? As I bring it to you.
Apparently there is a cult that has something to do with Illumina. I'll have to read this further, but apparently there is a cult causing some sort of trouble there, and or the people who take this job are hired to deal with them.
Alright, I come back down with an oversized map that I have.
Yeah, and if you were to roll it out, everybody can see, like, maybe 25 miles east of Felrand Outpost. There's a path that leads to, like, what looks like a dragon skeleton on the map itself. And it looks like they made, like, a skeleton-like gate there out of it to signify that's where the town is. But, it's just a straight track east from Timor. Probably looking at a good, maybe 2 to 3 days, depending.
Did I happen to, I'm assuming the Adventurers Guild would have ready access to teleportation spells or teleportation circles that lead to other adventures, lead,
No.
portals?
Nope.
No.
No. They act independently of their own. Like
Okay.
you had to literally go to hopefully a wizard that was working in the town still in order to find a teleportation to Corinthia.
Okay.
Right, well, my body's been getting a little stiff just sitting around. I'm all for this type of job, especially if we're going after vampires. The idea would be to be as in shape
What
as possible.
wasn't it cultists for this one?
No, I
Yes.
mean to get in shape for the big fight.
Yeah. Do you want to read them the thing, or do you want me to read it to them, or how do you want to go about this? Like, you have the information.
I'll I'll read it to the rest of them. So, rumors of cultists stealing farm supplies and they're ransacking supply sheds. And we are instructed to find the missing supplies and bring them to justice. But to start this, we have to go visit Sister Albright in the Church of Illumina in Dragonspire.
Can I roll, see if I know that name?
What name? Albright?
You're from a different land.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know that because you're not from here. And
Like a foreigner.
I would say no, you wouldn't know. Because you were kind of like sheltered into Citadel Kingdom. And like I said before, like, Illumina's not normally worshipped, so this might throw like a red flag up for you instinctively, but, you know, you don't know what to believe until you see it.
Let's go see if this is
You kept cutting out there, what'd you say?
Alright, let's go see if real sister of then.
Okay, I think I got most of that. So you're basically like, let's see if this is a real sister or whatnot. Okay. Yeah, what do you guys want to do to prepare, or what's the ideal way of traveling? What do you want to do?
Well, if we're going out, I would like to stock up on some arrows.
Oh, I believe.
Give me 2 hours.
Yeah,
So, unless I'm mistaken, we still have a cart that we rode in on. It was commandeered by the local military in Limbo for that concerned about transportation.
there's a
Because
cart
they had
that's
to bring
waiting
up
for
their
you.
dead.
Oh yeah, that cart might still be there. They said they would keep it apart.
That would be on the way.
Well,
How far is it to get to where we left?
okay, so I just want to say one word, and I want to see if it'll jog any memory. Lindsay.
Oh yeah, we had her cart made as well. At that place.
I mean,
near
with
the-
Nenny's continent hopping, I didn't know if they would have picked it up or not.
No, they didn't. Like, it's been sitting where it's been for the past however long you guys left it there.
More than a month.
Yeah.
We want to check for termites at this point.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do. What do you guys want to do? Like, I just gave you a word and then you figured it out, so what do you guys want to do with this info? Like,
So, you guys remember that cart that we dropped out, that we pulled Lindsley out? We never picked it back up. Might be a good idea to check if it's still there. If we want to take our cart, else horseback will do just fine.
do we even own horses in this campaign? I don't know if anybody bought a horse.
We did at one point.
I think they went with the wagon.
So you might be able to commandeer that back, maybe. Well, I'm interested in finding out how you want to go about getting horses for the wagon, and if you're going to go for a wagon, or if you're just going to start huffing it.
What did happen to those horses?
They just starved.
Probably.
I'll just,
mean-
I don't know, clasp Oscar on the shoulder. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go start making those arrows. Let me know when we're leaving, and I'm gonna go make arrows for our.
Alright.
Okay.
Give me a woodworking check, and we'll see how many of them you are quickly able to process. Won't be not beat at all. I would say you're able to make a full quiver and a half, so about 30 arrows total.
All right, that's what I'm working on. What you guys are deciding.
Alright, so we got 30 arrows in reserves, and now we got to figure out, are we going to go buy horses, or are we going to try to, I don't know, what's the strategy that you guys can think of, and we'll see where we can go from there.
How far was the travel again?
It's a good 3 days away. Probably looking at a total
So
of,
it's 3 days just to get to Philrand. It's going to be more to get from there to.
well, it's like a 25 miles after that, so maybe 3.5, 4 days at the most. Now that's, if you're driving by carriage, it depends upon how many hours and how fast you drive it. I mean, you could probably shorten that with the risk of exhaustion if you want to try to push the horses a little further along. But you know, it's first things first. We got to figure out if we can find some horses and the carriage. I mean, that's your number one priority. I mean, you know where everything is, but you haven't left to talk to them yet. I mean, that's your number one priority.
Well, we need horses one way or another, so stable hand.
Well, let's drop by that cart shop first. Let's see if that thing is still there and what we want to do with it.
Alright. I think I have it written down in OneNote. Let me take a quick look. So let's see here. Timor, where are you at? Huh. Might actually be in the big book. Let me check that then.
It is at a place called Cobbler's Carriage.
Yeah, that sounds like the name. Cobbler's Carriage. I think it was ran by a dwarf.
Human,
A human.
I think, but he was older.
Yeah, most of these people who own shops are pretty old. Oh yeah, here it is. Run by Cobbler, an old coot. That's all I have for notes. Cobbler's Carriage House. Alright. Alright, yeah, I got this.
I didn't note
did
the
get the-
price down though.
Yeah. So, you head back up to this old carriage house workshop that does, you see several fancy carriages. It's almost like a, what is it? Like an auto lot, like there's all these carriages he's got up front. And, let's see here. Yeah, you don't initially see the one that you guys brought in, but you kind of go in. Who's all coming? Like everybody?
I'm assuming I need to go since I have the money.
Alright.
And you're paralyzed
Oh.
without me.
Since I remembered the whole ordeal, I guess I'll be there as well.
I mean, all of you can go with Lucelyn working. It's up to you.
I mean, I'm probably going to go down.
Yeah. What's Cindy doing?
I'll go as well.
Alright, so yeah, the four of you go back to the carriage shop there, and the old coot looks up. Well, haven't seen you guys in months. Or was it weeks? Can't quite remember. Whichever it is, I don't remember.
Probably a combination of both.
Where's that fine
Funny how
young
time
lass that was
flies.
with you? Yeah, where's that young lass that was with you? She is my pretty thing.
She got on a boat and went somewhere.
Well, is she gonna come back for a carriage? I mean, it's finished. Or are you guys here to pick it up for her? I bet that's what it is. Actually, you guys
yes,
brought it
we're
in, so...
here to pick it up.
Alright, so he kind of
If
leads you
still
in.
have
Yeah, he
have
leads
it.
you in there, and this fanciful carriage that had the broken wheel and everything. You remember that being splintered off and then eventually put up on a block so he could work on it. And he's now presents to you in pristine condition. He's like, good as new, as you can see. And all that work was for only 10 gold. And in the trunk there, I put in some extra wood supplies and an extra wooden spoke if you need it. So that if you have these problems, if you break a wheel along the way, you can try to fix it yourself if you have the tools.
That's really smart. Thank you.
Yeah, so he's basically telling you 10 gold, and you can have the carriage. Are you paying?
Well, I mean, that's what we came here for, yeah.
Yeah, so you pay him, and then it's like, so, you got any horses to tie up to this thing now, or you guys gonna push it out?
No, I was
Well-
gonna tie that one over there to it and have him pull it up for us.
Sounds like a plan. Here, let me go
I'm
get the
pointing
rate.
at Oscar.
Are you really?
I
Oh,
mean,
That's how we got it in.
I can.
Can you? Can you? Let's see.
I can.
Do you need help?
Alright, what do you want to do, Oscar?
Okay, you offered help.
Yeah.
Let's okay, let's pull this out. If you don't mind, would you come over here and I will go in front of the...
Okay, so you're both just going to get, like, where the horses are stationed and, like, pull the pry bar on both sides and just kind of push it out yourselves?
No, we're standing right in front of it.
Right, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing.
I'm going to cast Polymorph on myself at 5th level.
And what are you going to polymorph into?
Me and Cindy are going to transform into horse.
So, what do these horses look like? I mean, you can be as specific or nondescript as you want, but...
Regular bay horse, I guess.
And Cindy will be blue. Well, what color is Cindy then?
I'm just gonna be.
You don't get to
regular
pick. You
horse,
didn't
but-
cast the spell.
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
You don't get a choice,
A
Cindy.
blue horse.
Yeah, so you're a blue horse and you're a beige. So you two of you are like, you're there now. But somebody's got to connect you. So
I will back up and like get in position.
yeah. So Borden, are you gonna strap them in?
Why the hell not? I will hitch the
Oh,
horses to the carriage.
So we're gonna hitch our party to the carriage.
I was making a joke, but he's like, screw it, I'll show you.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I hope he
God.
likes pulling the carriage.
I'm all for it. Let's do this. So yeah, you tie your party to this wagon, and they start dropping it out, and the old coot's like, ha ha ha, that's something you don't see every day. Yeah, turn it to horses. Well, I guess it's one way to bring your horses too. Alright then, you guys have a good... He's just laughing to himself as you guys kind of pull out. So, Borden... Was there somebody else with you, or is it just... Zareth? Borden and
There's
Zareth are
everyone
riding in the
but
carriage.
Lucille.
Yeah. So Borden and Zareth are up in the carriage, yawing Oscar and Sydney as you two push the carriage out into the streets and start making your way.
Well, they'd be pulling, but...
Well, yeah, you're basically... I mean, they know where to go. Maybe they don't. Maybe you need to tell them. I mean, where do you want to go with the carriage now?
I assume to pick Lucille up.
I mean, that is the plan.
Yeah, and if we come by a general store, I just want to pick up a quiver of arrows, so that I have a nice supply.
I'd say about maybe a gold piece for a quiver.
And after that, I would probably pull us over to the stable and get horses, because while this would actually work temporarily, I can only do this like twice a day, or maybe 4 times a day, but that's 4 hours of road. That's it.
Zareth, I could.
While on horse, could I try to persuade, see which one is the best horse? Talk to them.
You're not.
You don't speak horse. You are a horse.
Yeah, you're not proficient.
See,
in
This isn't
polymorph,
a
you
druid
cannot
thing.
speak. It doesn't say that you can speak with animals of your same language.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
cannot speak as polymorph.
Yeah. You're just a polymorph creature that only knows English. But
Yes.
so yeah, you get to the stables and stable hand kind of comes out there. You need a park or what's going on?
Well, actually, we need horses.
And he looks at the 2 horses you already have on the thing. Well, what about those 2? Are you looking to sell?
Well, no, those aren't horses. It's complicated.
It's not complicated at all.
Yeah. Well, what's going on here? I'm kind of confused.
Are we in a decent spot?
Well, yeah, you're on the side of the road next to the stable.
I'm going to dispel me and Cindy.
Alright, so you quit concentrating on polymorph, and then all of a sudden you got this harness hovering over your shoulders.
Now it looks like we're into some really weird shit.
Yeah, so... And hold on, let me make a roll for him. Let's see if he's, like, surprised by
And
this.
that's why they go with you.
So he rolls, like, a 19 on insight. He's like, huh, okay. That's not the weirdest thing I've seen. So, yeah, you do need a couple of horses, I see. Let me see what I got in stock. And he will go and look into his stockpile of horses that he keeps in a chest somewhere because... No, he's like pulling them out of the stable.
The bag of horses.
Hold on. Oh, that one died. Damn. I don't know why. They just keep...
Something heftier,
Well-
perhaps, a little tougher.
Yeah, and then he
Because
turns
the
to
bandits like killing our horses.
Oh, is that right? So, like, you don't want these glue factory qualified. Let me see what we got in the good old PHB. Like, draft horses, yeah, that's nice, but you know what? I'm going to look at the,
I'm pretty sure there are no specialized horses that are actually...
Well, there's different horse types. Let me see what they got. Like, I know if you get a war horse, they're actually, stouter.
Yeah,
But they cost like 50 gold each, or something to that effect. Warhorse has an armor class of 11 with 19 HP. Can move 60 feet. And I think there's a price tag on it. This is the thing I don't like about just looking it up in the compendium. It doesn't have any price guidelines for their items. But if I'm not mistaken, a warhorse should be in the player's handbook somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody knows exactly where that page is, that'd be... Oh, wait. We might have found it. Here we go. Warhorse is 400 gold. Okay. But they can move 60. Now, if you don't want to pony up 400 gold, you can get a pony for 30 gold. You might even be able to buy an elephant. For 200 gold.
Would that even fit on the wagon, though?
Well, no,
I
you
mean,
would
don't we
you
do-
would
I mean,
be riding
we've got
the
an
elephant at
elephant.
that point.
I'm pretty sure we actually could have the wagon pulled by elephant.
Or we
We'd
could
be able to
summon
see
that
where
giant
we're going.
elk.
Well,
The giant elk is not a guaranteed thing.
yeah, that's temporary. Like, you need something permanent. So, war horses are 400 gold pieces, and they might actually be worth shelling out the money for, because, one, you can use them to pull the carriage, and then if you want, you can actually use them in battle to do, like, their trampling charge, and then assist you in battle if you ever have to do that. Plus, you can give these things barding. We can up their AC if you want. But, like everything else, you probably couldn't do that. So 400 gold will give you a more customizable horse to put on the wagon. And he happens to
I
have...
just know no matter where we go, we're gonna have those bandits that think they can take us.
So if you're looking for a tough horse, this is the one you want. But if you want to do with something that'll just pull the thing, you can go with a simple draft horse for 50 gold, or a riding horse for 75. So let me... Just gonna kind of look at riding horse and draft horses and
What's
see
the
what they do.
difference? Stat-wise?
I'm
Possible?
looking. Draft horses are stronger. And you guys are chatting. What are you talking about? Yeah, the draft horses are stronger and actually have a +6 to hit, whereas your riding horses have a +5 to hit. And draft horses are 50 gold, so draft horses.
Just saying, draft horses are not only the cheapest, but also relatively better when it all comes down to it.
Well, the thing is, riding horses can pull or move at a 60-foot movement, and the draft horses are limited to their 40-foot movement. So that's the other difference. Like, even though the riding horses are weaker, they can travel faster. But the draft horses are sturdier, they move at 40, and they're cheaper to buy. But if you want to go all out and get all the perks, you will probably want a warhorse. They got speed, they got trampling abilities.
How many of those trained war horses does that guy have?
He has 2 on hand right now. And apparently, yeah, so the warhorse has armor barding here that if you get leather barding, his AC goes to 12. If you get studded leather barding for it, it goes to 13. If you get ring mail for it goes to 14. All the way up to plate, which gives it an AC of 18 if you put like plate barding on these things. But I would say like going full plate on these would also weigh them down, so they might be reduced to 50 feet movement, which still would be pretty good. And they probably move at 40 with a full carriage. I don't know, 2 of them's pulling. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do here. So your options are the expensive war horses, which can be customized AC, or you can just get the other 2 horses, which are cheap, disposable, and depending upon if you want individual speed or if you want just something that gets the job done and is a little bit hardier.
Oh, are we planning to take those horses into battle? If not, then the war horses.
We
are
never plan on
not
taking horses into
necessary.
battle. We don't get given a choice
Not
quite often, though.
necessarily.
It's very true, you don't really get a choice half the time.
So I
Then
suppose
take the war horses. Nothing is.
I mean, if you got the money to spend, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, otherwise we just pick up a couple of draft horses. Or riding horses, up to you. Like I said, riding horses have better speed, but they are a little bit weaker. Draft horses are stronger, have a little bit more HP, not by much. But, you know, they can definitely get the job done, and they're cheaper.
I think we would need something that can take a hit just in case, so we're not stranded. Which, I mean, we should be able to make it to the nearest city, but or the nearest outpost. But if they have spare horses to give us, that's another question.
Yeah, I mean, we could always carry an extra horse on the back. You know, just have it tied off to the back of the wagon, so in case one does go down, we still have 1 horse left over.
Make a perception check while you're all at the stable here. I'll let everybody who's here make it. Just a straight perception.
Yeah, I think we're all here.
Yeah, well, except for Lucelyn. Who's
No,
making...
we picked them up.
Oh, did you pick him up? Okay, then yeah, Lucelyn, you can too. They
Oh.
picked you up. I must have missed that.
Wait, I'm here now? What?
Apparently so. They picked you up.
Yeah, I said that we went back to the house, picked up you, and then went to the.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just toss Zareth a quiver with 30 arrows.
There you go, Sarah. You got 30 more arrows on top of your 20. Sydney, I don't know, what's your opinion on horses in general? Like, what would you think Sydney feels about horses? Like, yeah, you ride them, but...
I'd love to go out and battle with fine, majestic.
So,
Okay.
you're looking over, and this is what the perception was for. You're looking over the 2 war horses that are just sitting there, and then one of them just seems to have like this kind of light to his eyes, like there's more behind it. Like he's got some kind of thought process, like he's looking at you thoughtfully in a way.
Surprise druid.
No.
I'd like to
Borden.
take a closer look and sight it.
It's a witch. I shoot it. Not really.
Oh, do you? Well, let's roll initiative.
No.
Just go ahead and roll your
So
insight,
much
City.
you got.
That's a horse. Smart looking
Could
one.
I use my +6 to roll 6?
For
Borden, you have advantage on your perception checks, sight
Not for
space,
this
because
one.
you got those goggles.
Not for this one. This is related to the animal itself, so something about the animal he wasn't perceiving.
Okay.
Add a +6 to it or no?
You explain why you get +6.
You told me that I got 3 medallions, kind of bardic inspiration at +6, and I bought 3 of them.
Oh, you have those
And I
coins?
wanted one of them to try to help
Alright.
that.
Roll a d6.
I thought you said it's
It's
just
not a
flat
+6, it's a d6. It's
Okay.
a bard of inspiration. They have to roll that.
Okay.
You know how it works. You're a freaking bard in the other one. Or was. So, yeah, you get a 15. That horse seems rather intelligent compared to the other one. I mean, looks like they both take orders, but this one might even have, like, an understanding of speech. Like, you might go over there and say hello, and it recognizes you saying hello. And it kind of, like, nods at you in some way.
Guys, I think we should really take this horse. I can tell that unique in a certain way.
I look at the horse, back to Cindy, back to the horse, and back to Cindy. There's like awestruck. Cindy can tell something.
And the horse is, like, looking back at you and then back at Sydney while you're doing the same thing.
Do I notice that?
Well, do you want to notice it? Like, whenever you look at Sydney, it's looking at Sydney. But then whenever you look at it, it's looking at you. So I don't know if you would notice it looking towards Sydney, but every time you turn your head, it turns its head back to you. So you two are, like, watching each other as you turn your head towards it.
Okay, so are we buying this horse then, Cindy?
I think we should.
It kind of, like, shakes its head a bit and kind of, like, hoofs into the ground a bit.
I present lettuce.
And we should name it.
You want to name it lettuce? You present lettuce?
I present it lettuce.
Okay.
Handed lettuce.
So you're feeding it.
Oh, you're offering it lettuce. You're not like giving it an introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you lettuce. You're giving it food.
Okay, got
Yes.
Gentlemen, I bring you corn!
it. Hmm.
So now you really want me to name it? Really
No.
want to name
No,
lettuce?
no.
No, if you're gonna name it lettuce, I was going to draw the line there and be like, "Yep, we'll take those two," and point to two other holes.
So yeah. So he'll chomp on the lettuce. The stable hand's like, you shouldn't feed the animals unless you plan on buying. I mean, I don't know what's in your food, and we try to
I
keep.
feel like that one wants the damn
And that
horse.
is very true. So.
Yeah, like
This,
well,
this horse looks like an Apollo. Just my opinion. I'll be sitting here in the wagon.
Apollo?
I'm gonna call him Apollo. Looks like that to me.
I was thinking that you're thinking of Appaloosa or something. But I don't know. Never mind.
well, gentlemen.
Didn't we already have an Apollo?
Yeah, it was a bard we ditched in Tynet.
I don't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. But no, the stable hand's like, well, let's talk business. What do you guys want? I mean, this horse is a good horse. I let him go for 400 gold because he's that good. And if you want, we can put a little extra money on it, and I can get you some special barding for him, like maybe split mail or something like that. I mean, does that sound interesting to you? I could probably do that for an extra 50 gold if you want.
And if we were to take both of those war horses, could something be done about the price?
Well, I mean, this one, excuse me, this one here is, you know, he's pretty, I want to show you guys this, by the way.
Do we have a picture of his horse?
Well, you're gonna get the variant warhorse armor thing here that I was reading off earlier. So like if you give it splint, that'll put it at an AC of 17, which is right underneath plate. So yeah, he's offering you a good deal on there. So 450 for the one. If you want to give them both, I mean I'm giving you a good deal on the splint plate. If you want that one in splint as well, that's 900 gold. I mean, they're both good horses.
900 combined?
Yeah, all together, and we'll put them in split mail for you.
We're buying horses too. What about a package deal?
What are you wanting with it?
No, I'm talking about since we're buying the 2 horses with the 2 armor, why not just make a package deal of the 4?
Well, because I'm giving you the armor at a discount. Like he's already
pre-packaged right now is what he's saying.
Yeah.
This seems good.
So, with everybody kind of like talking this over, I'll let a persuasion check go in. Whoever wants to make it, let you make it with advantage. Somebody call it. Not everybody needs to
I'll
make
make it.
It's I'm interested.
No. Well, Zareth called it before you.
I think.
No.
We'll let him roll with
Persuasion, you
advantage.
said?
Yeah, at advantage. Good thing at advantage.
17.
So, he told you the initially 900. He's willing to come down. He should still try to make his money here. I'd say he'd come down to 800. But he might give you chainmail instead of splint. So he's like, I could probably do it for 800, but instead of the splint mail, I'll offer you the chainmail in its place. I mean, it's a little less protective, but it's still, good protection if you want the discount price. But if you want the splint, it's going to be 900. So he's offering you a way to discount it to 800 with just chainmail, but he's still going to keep the price at 900 and add the splint mail.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the prices are for the chain and splint mill, but I can't find them.
There's no prices there. Like, you don't know if he's ripping you off or not. You can make an insight check on him if you want.
I would like to make an insight check, yes.
Go right ahead. You think he's giving you guys a really good deal on these pieces. Like, the splint mail, think about it in terms of what? Like, actual armor? Because I bet it's just kind of like consolidating that into its horse AC. How much does splint mail cost, if anybody knows offhand?
Check.
And you also got to consider we're doing this for a horse, so it's more material being used. So
splint costs 200 gold.
Oh yeah, you're getting a fucking deal on this. So,
Okay,
if you look at it as
guys,
normal armor.
I suggest we just pay the 900. We get a good deal on that armor. A very good deal.
If only in the interest of time, I'll go pay the man his 900 and we'll get the horses set up.
Alright, so 900 gold switches hands. He changes out the barding because they were like in ceremonial looking barding to, decorate them, make them more presentable. And then one of the horses that has that high intelligent like features to him, he's like kind of nuzzling up to everybody, like almost in a thankful kind of way. And then he just kind of presents himself proudly there before you. And then the other one
I cast Good Berry and feed both of those horses a bunch of those berries.
They are stuffed to the gills. They are stuffed to the gills, and you guys are now. Yeah, you have 2 warhorses
paid for.
So what I will do is I will put a warhorse in your. Make it available to all characters, so you can kind of. I don't know. You guys got names planned already, or?
I have a name for the one that I found possible.
I'm still calling him Apollo.
I reserve the right to veto any shit names.
Well, have a conversation with about that, guys. Like, we got time. What do you want to name it?
Iron.
Aaron. Well, what does the party think?
Yeah, it's better than fucking lettuce.
It's a name.
It's a mythical horse.
All right.
Helen.
Well, if you're gonna go with mythical horse names,
That's called a horse hydra.
like, should we just
Yeah, so in the
call the
morning
other
you can
one
say.
Sleipnir?
Yeah, so in the morning you can say, "Hail, Hydra."
Yeah, or get on to the hydra's back.
Wait, where's it at? All right, so I'm going to move its AC to 17. Put split mail here. So 17. And this warhorse name is Arion. Or Iron. Hold on, let me double check your spelling.
Arion sounds more
Arion. Arion. Okay, so Arion. And then I will... save that. Let me know if Arion's in your journal now. Yes, no?
There's a warhorse in there.
Didn't save its name.
Oh, wait, Arion. Yes, it is.
Hold on, it needs to save it here. So I can add another warhorse and we can name it. There we go, now it's saved. Yeah, the character sheet had it, but not the actual information sheet. Alright, so there you go. You got a horse named Arion. And then you got another warhorse that's with you guys. Do you want to give it a name as well, or?
Well, Lucilin called that shot, and now it's called Apollo.
Do you want
No,
to?
no, I don't think you understand. That horse is Apollo, the other one's horse.
The other
I
one?
understand what you're naming it. I understand. To me, he's Apollo.
Well, the
I'm gonna
unintelligent
make an
horse.
insight check on why that horse, specifically that horse, is Apollo.
You don't have to. I just think he's an Apollo.
Okay.
What, my character can't have a weird quirk?
Yeah, you can have a weird quirk. It's weird. So yeah, he thinks it's Apollo, but you know, Arion's the name that everybody else is agreeing to. But there is a nameless
Alright,
warhorse.
the other one we call Roth.
Roth.
Yes.
Is everybody cool with that?
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of ready to go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
alright.
I know this isn't the most interesting thing in the world, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust everything accordingly. Alright, so, yeah. So you get them tied up to the carriage and everything, and they start pulling out. Is there any other preparations you guys want to do before actually heading to Destination B?
I already have a few materials to, recreate Monty, right?
You should, I believe, yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
not.
think I have 3 lines. Oh,
What were you saying, Zara?
Yeah, I can't remember if I went by the Arcana and dropped off my dagger to have an enchantment swap from one dagger to the one that Borden made.
Did you already pay for it?
I did not.
Then you probably did not.
Okay.
So, what are we doing, guys?
Then let's go.
I'm ready. Then I'll just pet the horse. Run.
And they start pulling the carriage heading east out the gate. So, we're just heading straight towards Felrand. How fast do you want these horses to move? Like, are you going to try to push them to go, like their most expeditious speed that they can go without damaging the cart or anything?
Did you guys say expeditious?
I can't. Didn't want to. Expeditious?
No, I was lost for a second. I was like, wait a second.
Alright, I'm just saying, like, how fast do you want these fucking horses to go?
Normal pace because we're not in a real hurry.
Alright.
And we need to travel a couple of days, so exhausting them now would be kind of a bad idea.
Perfectly good logic there. So, what we will do now is I will have somebody who's watching the road. Like, who's going to be watching as you guys travel?
I would like to just sit up with the horse, but if fit to, then just be with them.
Well, I'm not asking who's going to be sitting with the horses. I'm asking who's going to be watching the road. Who's going to make my perception check that I'm looking for.
I'm going to make the perception check for this day then.
Alright, go ahead and make that perception check. And this is for pretty much the entire day, and I'll tell you what happens.
27.
Not bad. Huh. Oh. Okay, that could be many things. Alright. So, as you've been traveling along, it's been a little bit cloudy overhead. And there's been like a little bit of light rain here and there. And the clouds kind of like shut out the sun. And then it's
So when it's raining, I flip up my hood.
well, it's not exactly like raining yet, but it's like getting dark and dreary. You can smell the rain, but it hasn't landed anywhere yet. You notice like trade caravans coming in and out on, or you might be actually in front of a trade caravan that's going in the same direction as you. They look like they're maybe a mile behind you somewhat. And you also see like several caravans going the opposite direction heading towards Timor. And then eventually you come to this bridge that is like going over this small little river. And it is like really super foggy right up there at that bridge that you notice.
I yell to stop the carriage.
I pull back.
Guys, let's check out that bridge. This seems
Who are you talking to?
odd.
Don't make sense. I don't know what he said. What did he say?
The bridge seems odd.
Okay.
You're gonna have to be more to go on than that.
It's obscured by fog, more heavenly so than the rest, and I don't see a waterfall or something.
If this fog is kind of throwing him off, can I do an Arcana check on it?
Sure. What'd you get?
This fog.
What'd you get? I'm on a different page right now.
9.
9? Alright. Yeah, it's definitely fog. Definitely fog. Your warhorse, Arion, or Apollo, whichever you want to consider him, is like woof, woof, shaking his head a bit towards the fog.
Oh yeah, is Arion a boy or a girl?
Oh no.
Why don't you check?
Yeah, why don't you go check?
I
Did you-
will look down. Do good perception.
Shit, it's a boy. You see a ding dong.
Right, that's persuasion.
You persuaded it.
Are
to
you
show
persuading the ding dong?
You
No,
persuaded it.
I'm-
You persuaded it to show you its nads.
Sydney's looking for some action.
The horse kind of like looks at you with a weird eye, then like its left eye winks at you. I don't know.
Canon now, bitch. It's canon now.
I didn't know we were in.
You know, I don't
No,
get it. I
gonna do
think.
perception. I was doing perception. But I
Then
picked
do a
wrong.
perception already. Jeez.
22.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a boy. I mean, honestly, you look down, you can see without. I'm sure that's not going to be hard to see. Alright, so yeah, you notice. That's a boy. But there's still
DC.
fog up there, which doesn't really
Okay.
change the situation you're in. I mean,
Oh, there, boy. That's all I want.
yeah.
I'm gonna get off and go toward the fog.
I'll step up with Oscar.
Alright, give me a quick second here as I kind of like. Actually, I'm drawing this on the wrong layer, ain't I? see my fine little artwork when you get in here. Alright, let me move you in. I'm on the right layer now.
I see something.
Alright, so go ahead and move your tokens where your card is. This will be your card representation. And then we got your horses. I'll pull Roth over and Arion. Alright, as you get closer, let's get a perception check as you kind of... Like, okay, so what you're looking at here? I don't know. Do you see the blue marking there?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like the bridge, and the blue going the other way is like the river that's going through here. Alright?
I don't know what blue marking you're on about.
There's no marking.
Yeah, alright, that's what I was afraid of. Hold on. How about now?
Oh, yeah, that's some blue
There's
stuff.
1, 2.
Alright. Alright, hold on. I'm redrawing over everything I put here. So basically, this is the bridge, and this is the river going through it.
So the bridge isn't even 10 feet.
Yeah, it's like a small bridge, and it's just really foggy right here. Make a perception check as you get into the thick of the fog. Those who are up there.
Drag myself up.
29.
I'm assuming I can use visual for this, yeah?
Yeah. Well, no, straight roll because it would be at disadvantage with the fog, but...
I'm ready to fire if I see anything attacking.
Alright. So yeah, as Oscar moves to where he's at, he kind of disappears from anybody's view near the wagon. Zareth, you can still make out Oscar's figure, but the fog is really thick where he's standing. So if you're within 20 feet of each other in this fog, you could see each other, but if you're like 30 feet out, you can't make out their shapes very well, so that would be like a disadvantage if you see something over there that you're trying to hit. So, yeah, you're hearing... So as with that perception check, you're hearing like soft gurgling, like... And it's coming from like 5 different points on the other side of this fog. Like a...
Something is there.
Don't I have a chest plate that can do a blast of wind?
Cantrip, yeah. You want to try it?
Well, the thing is, most clouds and vapors are dispersed by a 10-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, go ahead and try it. So you activate your armor and try to gust of wind this fog in a way, and the air kind of dissipates a bit, so it kind of clears up for a moment, right? But as soon as your gust kind of like comes back and cuts off, the fog quickly re-envelopes that area that it once filled. So it seems like you could push it for a moment, but then as soon as your gust kind of wears off, it kind of floats right back in.
I heard some gurgling up ahead, like a handful of things up ahead.
Can I cast Dancing Lights?
You can? Do you know dancing lights?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then yeah, you can.
And instead of using them for light, can I kind of, wave them back and forth and like a good distance away to see if I see anything obstructing my view through the lights? Or do they reach through the fog that far?
Well, here's the thing. So you pop them up, and you can move them around as you want here, because you're just kind of like free willy-nilly at the moment. And as you're kind of like moving it further away, the light kind of disappears. But you know it's still there, but it's like lighting it up just barely. Like the fog is really concealing any light getting into this area. We're talking super thick fog.
I can probably move up ahead and see what's there.
What's your passive perception?
20.
Yeah, so tell me where you want to move.
Well, first I want to stealth. And I do have my hood up.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
So that's 28.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be 31? Said you had your hood up?
Oh,
Oh yeah, 31, yeah.
So where are you going?
My token just went poof.
Your token went underneath the horse for some reason. Move the other horse out of the way.
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Where are you moving?
So I want to move to the other side of the bridge slowly.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I clear the bridge, I want to... Never mind.
Yeah, okay. Then in
I'm
that
going
case,
to
what
move
I
back
would...
now that I've seen them.
No. You don't get to move back just yet. What you need to do is roll initiative. Everybody, click your token, roll your initiative, and let's have it. Alright, we all rolled. If you want, you can roll for the horses by clicking on them and then roll for initiative. Only one person do it though, so pick somebody.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you want the horses to do anything, but we'll see if the...
I mean, they're currently hitched to a carriage, so
Yeah.
good luck making them do anything.
Right. You never know. One of them might get up there and might have to heel kick something. Alright.
Well, he'd have to drag the carriage with him unless you're going to take the time to unbind them.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, let's sort this. Alright, Oscar. Or Zareth, I'll let you make a free action as soon as you discover what's up on the other side of this fog. If you're gonna say anything. If not, then I'm just gonna move to the turn order.
Yeah, well, I'm hidden, so if I shout now, they'll know I'm there.
Boy, it sucks to be a rogue, doesn't it?
I'm going to shoot an arrow at the beginning of the bridge.
Well, you can't do nothing. It's not your turn. I was giving you a free action to tell your group. So, Oscar, you have no idea what's on the other side of that fog. What do you want to do? And I accidentally moved through everybody's turn. Go ahead.
Just some thoughts. Is the bridge wooden?
Yeah.
Do not burn down the bridge.
I'm not going to. And how far does it reach past the line?
Well, what do you mean? Like, it's like a...
Does the bridge stop there, or does it overlap?
It stops there in that square. Well, I mean,
Okay.
if you look where the river is, it's just basically a wooden bridge that just goes straight over from one side to the other, so it just gets you back on the landing on the other side. So technically, like, it would stop probably right there. Like, where the river meets it.
Okay. I mean,
You don't know what's going on.
Sarah passed through.
Yeah, he passed through.
I don't
You can
hear
barely...
any motion, so
Yeah, you can barely make... Well, you can't even make out his figure because he went and hid. So you don't know where he went.
I'll go up too.
And as you get within range, you can see at least the three that are in the middle. The ones on the outside might be obscured a bit from the fog, but, you know, if you really wanted to hit those guys, you can make perception to see them. But you definitely see the three in the middle.
Alright. I'm going to keep moving.
Okay. Where are you going? Yeah.
Keep going, and I'm going to use a magic missile on this.
Alright, go ahead and roll damage. Let me double check communities, if any.
I don't think ghouls have a whole lot in that department.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But yeah, everything hits. So, bap, 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 by the magic missiles, and you can see its form kind of shuddering towards it. And it's like, and it's trying to walk towards you, but is that the end of your turn?
Yeah. And I'm going to shout, zombies!
Borden, you hear that?
So not just figure.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you walked right
Into
into
the
it.
fray.
Yeah, there you go. What do you want to do?
My location, I can only see the center 3, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you can see the 3 in the center. The one maybe off to the left, but the one off to the right's kind of obscured.
Yeah, why not?
Alright, so you...
Bring that guy out to play.
Okay, let me go find him real quick.
Dig down that list of token star. Dig deep. He hasn't been seen in a while.
Need to just get you that.
No, where do you want it? Right here? Or where, ping where you want it.
The fuck is that?
That's my spiritual weapon that was pulled offhandedly from a list of things.
It's a creepy smiley face.
It's
a-
supposed to be a set of wind chimes, but we don't have a wind chimes token.
I mean, I could find one, but this is much more fun. Where do you want it, though?
Yes.
That's fine right there. It really,
Alright.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah, that's
take
technically...
up space.
That's technically Smiley's token. But, yeah, so you call your spiritual weapon, 21 damage, or 21 to hit, right? So that's, go ahead, that hits. For 9 points of damage, it still seems to be standing on its own free will, but it looks very hurt. It's like it starts to shamble to the ground, and it's like trying to lift itself back up.
Take a whack at it.
Yeah, go ahead, take a whack. That's a hit. Go ahead and smash it.
Total of 10.
Total of 10 will splat it to the ground as it just kind of misshapes, and then it just kind of
Suck my radiant warhammer.
falls to the ground. Undead. Dead. Zara? Or is that the rest of your turn, right?
Yeah, that's move bonus action. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Zara, what do you want to do now that you're stealthy and sneaky?
I want to assassinate the guy like in front of me,
Go for it.
and I want to pop one of the charges of my sword.
Alright.
I need to click my token. Oh wait, this is just a normal attack. I'm sorry.
Well, you have to swing to see if you hit it, so that'll hit.
Yeah, so that's 30 to hit.
Yeah, how much damage is that overall? I just don't feel like doing math right now. It looks like a shit ton.
46.
That is
looks like.
46.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
still have a 2d6 of thunder damage.
Sure, go ahead and roll that thunder damage since you called it.
I think the thunder damage is a bit superfluous.
So you stab it, and then all of a sudden you send a jolt of electricity through your blade to shoot into it, and you wound this thing severely. Like, you found the right mark. You know exactly where to strike this thing, and it just went right through. You think you plunged your short sword through its heart or something, and it kind of like sticks to the blade as you kind of pull it out, but then the corpse just kind of crumbles to the ground. There's like a pulsing black ichor on the edge of your short sword. And then the electricity charges over it and burns it off.
Cool.
Yeah.
I yell strike at the heart, and I'm gonna move to this guy over here and attack it again with my
Bonus action?
with my short sword.
Alright.
As a bonus action, yes.
Alright, go ahead and make that swing.
That's 31.
It's an awful high number.
Yeah, I have a plus 12 modifier to hit.
Is that normal, guys?
From what?
Yeah, from one.
Well, I have a d20, and then I have my proficiency modifier, which is 4, plus my dex, which is 6, and it's a +2 weapon.
Okay, how much damage?
11.
Alright, so mine is 11 on that. What level is this group again? I think I forgot. So yeah, you stab into this thing. It's still standing and it's just kind of looking at you dazingly like you're its next meal. We come to the war horses, which seem to be doing okay. Nothing's come their way. Lucelyn.
I guess I'm charging it.
Alright, you can probably make out the one over here. If you want to make a perception check, you can kind of see what's going on over here. Or on the far end.
Well, so that's the first thing I see. That's what I'm going to shoot at.
Alright, go for it.
Just pull out all reliable and take a shot.
Yeah, so you pull out the crossbow and... that will hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
11.
So the crossbow bolt kind of lands right into the skull, and it leans back for a moment, and then it bounces back in place, and it just kind of walks around with this bolt in its head. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to take another.
Alright, let's have it. Quickly
Yeah, that's
arm
pretty.
up.
Battery low.
And everybody in Twitch knows my battery is low now. That's a hit.
20. 8 more piercing now.
Okay, it takes another right in the forehead, and there's 2 crossbow bolts in it, and it's like looking like antennas, but it's still alive, like it's just barely hanging on.
Alright, and I'm going to make that last shot. Grasping arrow.
Alright, what is that, a save I need to make?
Not at the moment, but he's going to take extra 2d6 poison.
Poison damage?
Yes.
Alright. Doesn't
Oh.
seem to do anything to it.
Okay, that's fine.
Charging battery.
There we go, battery's getting charged, guys, we're good. But yeah, the poison
And I'll take
damage.
one more step forward.
Alright.
That's it.
Alright, and then we come to Sydney. And the ghouls. But we'll let Sydney go first, since ladies first.
Yay! I'll move up.
Ghoul says as he
Seeing
approaches.
the ghouls.
Yeah, he's
May
kind
the
of...
light burn thee, and
Yeah,
I will cast Sacred Manda.
Alright, so I need to make a dex save on that. We roll this. The ghoul's like... and he kind of moves out of your sacred flame. So, no damage. This thing looks like it's got 2 antennas sticking out of its forehead. Anything else you're doing, Sydney? Because that missed. That's your action. You got a bonus action or anything you can do?
Look.
Otherwise, the ghouls are going to start swinging.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, the ghoul you try to hit comes over and takes a bite. Or actually, it's going to break its claws. It misses. Let's see here. Sarah, the one that's on you, is going to go for a claw attack. Up. Hello?
Welcome back.
Hello? Yeah.
Hello?
Alright, that was on Zareth. Did you hear that part?
Yeah, that misses.
Okay, that misses. Alright. So it tries to lunge at you with its claws. You kind of get out of the way, ducking side to side there. Let's see, this one here needs to move. I guess Sydney's the closest thing to eat, so we're going to go after her. So, speaking of eating, it's going to try to take a bite out of you. Wow, as you watch it try to come out and take a bite out of your neck, you're like, no sir! And it's kind of like,
I bash it with my shield.
You try to, and it ducks back. And then we're to Oscar as we go back to the top of the round.
Going to help out on the left. I will cast a Ray of Frost on the top.
Alright, is that a DC?
On Mr. Antennas?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, cast your spell so I know what I gotta do. Oh, that's a 2 attack, so yeah, you hit for 4 points of damage.
Yes.
So, your Ray of Frost hits this ghoul. Then all of a sudden, his entire body starts turning into ice. And then as it gets to the top where his antennas are, the antennas pop out of their sockets as the rest of his body crumbles out into dust, and both crossbow bolts just kind of ring up against the ice cubes that you created. He is dead. Anything else for your turn, Oscar?
No.
Good for you. And next up is Borden.
Yeah, if you just want to move my Smiley. Yeah,
How you doing? So you want to roll?
well, because I can't. I'm pretty sure I can't strike through the bridge if I were to move up and around. So.
Yeah. I would say stay right there. Like, it still has like a guardrail there, but it's like flat land. So yeah, you're right to assume that. So yeah, go ahead.
I will.
Go ahead and make whatever attacks you plan on
Swing
doing.
with a smile.
Smiley will
the wind
hit.
chime.
Yeah, the wind chime smileys will hit. Gling, 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 gling. They will both hit. Go ahead and give me some damage. As the wind chimes bonk, and then bonk. Give me the total there when you're... Or give me the second one. 20 is 14? Oh, wow.
It totals up to 22.
So, that bottom one is 14 though, right?
Yes.
Then in that
The radiant
case,
damage is a cleric class feature because fuck the undead.
Yeah, so you know what you do. You just bring your hammer down and you crush it right through the middle of the skull, and your hammer does not stop until it hits the dirt. And it just cleaves right all the way through to it, and it just falls into a pile of dust. Anything else for your turn? I think that's everything, right?
Nah, I'm satisfied. I took out 2 of the bastards.
Yeah, Zareth, what would you like to do?
I'm going to attack the guy in front of me.
Yep, make it happen.
That's
15 will
15.
hit. That will hit.
For 13 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Considering that stabbing the heart appears to work, I aim for that.
Alright, so you stab into the middle of its chest, piercing through whatever black ichor might be there. You don't feel anything like that in this one for some reason. And as you come out, you like rip your blade out, and it just kind of cleaves through its clavicle, and it just kind of crumbles, unable to keep itself together at that point. It apparently didn't have a heart. It was already gone. And as you guys finish off the last school, the fog that was permeating here kind of like fades, and then the bridge is clear. And we are out of initiative. Your 2 horses pull the carriage up closer.
Is there anything distinctive from those ghouls, the corpses?
No, it just... If anybody's trained in religion or arcana, you can make a check.
Convenient.
Oh, nice. How much does Lucilin know about the, let's see, the bleeding effect of the spirit realm?
The bleeding effect of the spirit realm? Like, you mean the ethereal plane?
Yeah, the ethereal plane.
He
ethereal
may
plane.
have touched on it a bit back in magic school, but aside from that, it's not like the thing he most cares.
No, but with that natural 20, it just kind of sits out like This wasn't a natural ethereal bleed, but it seems to be reminiscent of it just because the cloud or the fog was unnatural, and it might be what was like coming into existence from the ethereal plane. Everybody else kind of like, well, Borden might have a suspicion, but this is totally different than how it usually happens.
So someone caused this, or
You're not. It's possible that somebody might have caused this, or this is just part of the phenomenon that keeps happening. Like, it usually happens during twilight hours, where people would see, like, ghostly ruins, and then there's, like, ghosts and zombies and undead that just come up and, that are considered part of the ethereal plane, but they're coming through and they're bleeding into the actual mortal realm. But this just seems to be, like, another distinctive way that they came in, and you're not sure if it was done by somebody or if it just happened on its own. I mean, you do have suspicions somebody might have done it, which, I'd say, yeah, that's a quiet possibility. But, make a investigation check if you want to see if you can find any signs of anybody who might have came here besides these undead. Only him.
I can do that,
Only
I guess.
him. Nope. Only
Okay.
Lucidly. Because he's the only one that's on this hunt right now. Like, he's the only one that's keen to it. But Nope, you don't notice anything around, so...
the dice gods giveth and the dice gods taketh.
Yeah. But I will give you that you have your suspicions, and you're welcome to share that, and then maybe somebody else can look if you want. But other than that, that's the information you have.
From what I gathered, yeah, this ain't some sort of natural occurrence, at least not this time of day. Someone might have invoked these creatures, but I can't see no sign of them anywhere.
Was that what you were looking for?
Yeah, just taking a quick gander, but I was never the one that looked around things. I was mostly the enforcer or the guy who put people in chains. If any of you have better eyes, I would say you might take a look, but I can't see anything.
Alright, so he gave you the information.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a quick look over.
Alright, making the best.
23.
Yeah, so you're spending time just kind of like going through like each and every corpse and then just kind of looking for footprints of another person that might have been here. You don't find any, and the only thing you notice is like regular hoof prints from other caravans going back and forth on the road. So even though you wrote a good investigation, your assumption is that if they did it, they really concealed their tracks, or they weren't here when it happened.
Well, there are no tracks others of ours and just other caravans. Would I have, with that roll, would I know roughly how long those things have been standing there? Like, did they move around, or were they frozen in place until we got close?
Yeah, it seemed like they were just waiting for something to get close. So they could have been there for maybe an hour, maybe two.
And from what I can tell, they weren't here that long, maybe an hour or two. But if someone made them, he wasn't here or managed to hide his tracks really well. And by the way, 2 hours ago, where were we?
Probably leaving Timor.
Well, I reckon, unless anyone disagrees with me, we've already done a good service to the roads by clearing these things. Unless anyone wants to spend more time, maybe we should keep going.
Well, Oscar, can you burn them?
Yes, just make a pile and I'll see to it.
Alright. So you set them off to a side and burn away the corpses that you can gather that didn't shatter. And then you guys are prepared to go on your way, right?
Yeah, and I'll pray their souls travel.
All right. Nice touch.
I mean, their souls took a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're back on the road again. And as far as like interruptions for today, this was like the biggest interruption. Everything else is pretty much like usual travelers, stagecoaches delivering people from one area to another. You're watching caravans, like I said, go back and forth, and then whatever else might be traveling along the road, as you guys are as well.
Hey, why you take them clothes out, Morrison?
Will after this.
What are you doing?
I keep telling you what I'm doing. Hold on one second, guys. Or I will mute here. Alright, never mind. Anyway. Apparently he keeps forgetting I'm doing this on Sundays. Hello?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Wasn't sure Discord did something or not. So, continuing on, you get, the usual traffic. Unless there's anything you want to, like this is where I would, let a rogue shine if they wanted to, see what kind of caravans were coming through. But if you have no intentions of that kind of thievery or whatnot. No, what do you got on?
No.
No? Alright.
I'm more inclined to keep an eye out through the line of woods in case there's something hidden in there.
Alright. So yeah, you guys go pretty much all the way up until daylight starts to shutter away. Sun sets a little bit earlier with the clouds setting in. It's still kind of it's got that it could rain at any moment feel to it right now. But you guys managed to make, you're breaking sunset. You think within an hour or so you need to go ahead and start setting up camp. Sorry about that. Had to deal with something.
Always interesting here.
Not a moment dull with me here, is there? So, yeah, you guys make it to a camp spot. If somebody wants to make a survival check, and whoever wants to find a good stopping point, you know what I mean? See if you can find a good camp spot. Who do you think would be the best person to ask?
I've done solo enough finding camping spots in the past.
Would my perception check help with that?
Survival. It's going to be a survival roll to find a good camp spot. So if you want to make it...
You're up for it?
I thought Brandon said he was.
I could try. Survival's not exactly my strong suit. Let's see what I can...
Well, maybe you've come here before and you remember something?
See what I can find. 16.
Not a bad roll. Yeah, so you guys kind of pull off to the side and you actually find a nice little glade that's kind of covered with the trees, kind of going into a circle. So but then again, it's fall, so there's a bunch of branches that are there. A whole bunch of leaves in the middle of this open area, which you can probably use for something, maybe to help you start a fire or cover of any kind if you want to blend into the background or whatever. But I do know you guys have resources, so you do find a very open space where you could probably start a fire and the flames will go straight up and not burn anything.
I'm going to pitch my 2-person tent that I have.
Alright, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna dig a fire pit.
Okay.
Gonna start casting tiny hut.
Okay. And make a survival check for your fire pit.
This is where it all goes to hell.
Probably.
Natural 1.
All right, you
You
make a
jinxed it.
no. You make a pit, and you think it's good. Everybody thinks it looks fine, like it should be fine. So you start a fire in it.
No.
You have
No.
no clue. He made a pit.
He made a hole. I actually have survival proficiency. I know that doesn't work.
Okay, so you're looking at this hole he made. It's
I
like,
think it, Arby, I know that doesn't work.
yeah. So the both of you are like, Sarah, that's not gonna work.
Yes, I hope you're sleeping in that, because that ain't gonna hold a fire.
Good person-sized hole sleep standing.
Ah, well, that would also work.
Can I make a different fire pit? Because damn.
Yeah, go right ahead. So maybe, yeah, digging out where he did, and you're like, look, this is what you got to do, and then you make a better firing pit that you know will be fine. It'll be fine. So with that, you set a fire ablaze, right? We get tiny hut popping up. Is the tiny hut also putting Lucelin's hut into it, or his little pop-up tent?
I mean, I didn't want to do that without permission. But, and plus, that way we have 2 huts. Or 2
No,
tents.
one's a tent.
I imagine the tent is more of something if anyone keeps watch. Then
Alright, so it's outside of the tiny hut. Alright, that'll work.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. It'll be like right next to the horses as well, which I don't know. Well, they can't fit in the tiny hut either, I don't think.
No, we had this issue with the camels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that will
only-
more camels, but I don't think they would fit.
Yeah, so what we need now is a watch. So 4 watches. Who wants to take first, second, third, and fourth? Like, you guys figure that out. So you all know.
I'll take second.
So you all know who to wake up whenever your watch is over. So you guys
I'll
have
do,
to. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm
Take
usually up
third.
early anyway. I already said I'd do last, but
I'll take first. I only need 4 hours.
So who's taking third?
Sarah is second.
Who's taking third? That was the question.
Cindy.
Sydney's taking third. Okay, cool. And Oscar.
I kind of have to stay in the hut.
Yeah, that's true. So either way, you're getting your 8 hours, right? So first watch. Go ahead and make me a perception check for your watch, please. Ooh, nice. I like that.
I'll just be keeping a lookout, just softly humming to myself every so often, oddly whittling on a piece of wood, just keeping a lookout.
As you're looking about, you kind of glance over to a tree, and though it's dark, like the firelight is like only getting out so far, you make out an image of what looks like a little girl. You think? You kind of. Yeah, you see her, she's like hiding behind a tree. She picks her, maybe she's poking her head out or something, and then she kind of ducks back behind her after she notices you looking her way. And then next thing you know, you see like a small wolf leap from behind the tree and just go off into the bushes and then head further into the forest.
Interesting.
Other than that, nothing else happens for your watch.
Alright, when my watch ends, I'll let Zareth know about the little girl that turned into a wolf.
Alright, so Zareth, you're being woken up and he's telling you this story about the little girl he saw.
So, are we around the same place where we run into those werewolves before?
No, that would be further past Felran.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. I'll keep an eye out. And
Very well. See you in the morning. And I'll go meditate while it says watch IMAX.
Alright, and with that, I need you to go ahead and make your perception check, please. Let's
25.
Let's see what happens on your watch real quick. You look deeper into the forest, right? And you see those ghostly lights similar to what you've seen in the past. There's like ruins that are like lighting up, ancient ruins of some sort, but you know it's like the ghostly lights of the ethereal bleed. You already instinctively identify that it must be the twilight hour. The lights seem to be coming a good maybe a mile away, but the lights are like protruding such light that you can tell where it's at, especially in this darkened area where the skies are really dark, no moon to actually shine any light, so any outsourced light is very visible. You know it's there, but as far as anything happening, like your ship will go without any quarrels, because it seems like if it's there, it's just staying there.
Okay, then I wake up Cindy.
Alright, you tell Cindy anything?
Yes, I tell Cindy about Lucilin's werewolf. And the...
Werewolf?
Yeah, Lucilin said he saw a little girl change into a wolf and ran off. And then I point to the ethereal bleeding effect.
Yeah, it dissipates as soon as your watch comes to an end.
Okay, and a little while ago I saw the ethereal plane bleeding through over there, so keep an eye on it.
Okay. You should.
Alright, so
Good night.
and third watch comes to Sydney, so let me get a perception check from you and we'll see what happens. 16. Let's see here. What am I feeling like?
How much time is each watch, by the way?
They're roughly 2 hours.
Okay, so I can join boarding for the last one.
Sure.
I'm an elf. I need 4 hours. Yay!
Oh yeah. So it's like 2 in the morning right now, and you're on your watch. Your perception, you're kind of looking through, and you see this tree, and there looks like to be like a small head popping out, and it looks kind of like wolfish at first, and then you kind of like rub your eyes like thinking, okay, I didn't see a wolf over there, did I? And as soon as you do that, you don't see anything there. And then like maybe a half hour passes, and then all of a sudden you look again and there's this little girl. At least you swear it's a little girl. You're not sure. You're like rubbing your eyes again, or maybe you're saying something, I don't know. At this point it's like up to you. But she kind of ducks behind the tree, or at least it looks like she's ducked behind a tree. And then all of a sudden you see a small wolf pop out from behind there and run away from your camp.
Fortunately, is I'm gonna bid a little flower. Try to get her. Sir.
You're cutting in and out. I have no idea what you're doing.
I'd like to precipitation flower. Try to get her attention.
She seems to be already too far gone to actually catch a whiff of that.
Before she went out.
Well, it's a cantrip. Like, it's not going to be like, ooh, flowers. I mean, there's already probably flowers somewhere. But then again, it's also weird because it's winter. So I would think that would actually frighten her more, and then...
I was just trying.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's fine. You just noticed her, and, you know, it's just one of them... Like, it's not a threat, but she was watching you guys for a while, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. You want to pursue her or anything else? Like, I'm not saying your watch is over yet. Three.
I want to try
Two.
to her, but is I'll pursue her for just feet, see where she goes, and then I'll bring her back.
Well, she's darted deeper and deeper into the forest, off the main road. And before long, you lose visual. Like, if you're going to try to track her, that's what you're actually going to have to be able to do. And you're going to have to bring your own light source.
I have light.
Tell me what you're doing. Make it quick.
I'll go back.
You'll go back.
I'll just try to remember where she...
Alright. So you go back to the camp, finish your watch, and then you wake up Borden. When his watch comes up, right?
Yep. Borden. Wakey wakey.
So you wake up Borden. And what do you...
Ready?
There is a little that unchained to the wolf that coming that direction. That's the only I have. Just out to you. I'm going to...
Seeing as I've heard no one else ask a damn thing about it, it's not, full moon or anything either, is it?
You can't tell.
Well, Star said that there was no other light source up with the ethereal effect, so I presume not.
Like, it's been lightly drizzling, but because most of you are in a tiny hut, you guys don't have the effects of rain hitting you. But those on watch might have noticed, like, rain. So there's a bunch of clouds blocking out the moon. If you were keeping track of the moon cycle, you would assume that it's probably a half moon right now.
Okay, what I was getting at there is, like, there's no chance of it being a full moon.
Right, so it's not a full moon cycle. Like, if you were... Like, I'm giving it to you for free, but, like, if you were keeping track of it mentally, like, for a fact it's not a full moon for maybe another week.
Another week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perception?
Yeah, so go ahead and make a perception check.
With my eyes?
Sure.
It gets me the advantage on it, so I'm like, with my eyes?
I know. Yeah, you're fine. Like, it'll be both hearing and sight, but yeah. You hear two voices coming from the road. One dwarven and one elvish. And, as you look towards the road where they're coming from, you can see them hefting, like, the dwarf has, like, a giant, not a giant axe, but he's got, like, his lumbering axe over his shoulder and everything, and he's telling him, no, the count was 22. I got 22 of them bastards, and you've only got 21, so you lost. And the elf's like, dwarf, you miscount. I'm telling you, I used a quiver and a half. That's 25 to 30 that I put out with an arrow. No, I'm telling you, I got 22 of them bastards. There was only about 45 of them, and you lost. And they're just kind of complaining about this as they get closer to your camp.
I'll just yell out, if you got 22 and there are 45, that leaves 23 unaccounted for.
You stay out of this! Yeah, you stay out of this. And then they kind of look...
If you can't count, that's not my problem.
Yeah, they're just throwing numbers out there for shits and giggles. And then they hear this other dwarf chime in. They're like, wait a minute. Oh, there's a camp over there. Why don't we pay them a visit and see who's... Yeah, let's do that. So, like, this elf and dwarf kind of come towards the camp. Lucilin comes out of his hut, and he comes over there to, like, join you at the fire. Or whatever.
I'm just going to say, Gimli and Legolas have a dwarf and an elf in the camp that are now looking at them.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it sounded like. Like, I wrote this.
A dwarf and...
Yeah, it says a dwarf and an elf. It says a dwarf and a elf. Yeah, and they're arguing over the kill count. I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Let me count this one.
I also find it funny that the dwarf and an elf bump into a dwarf and an elf in the forest.
No, well, yeah, they're like traveling.
The camp mostly full of half-breeds.
Yeah, right.
And they get the two
full-breeded dwarves and elves, yeah. So, yeah, these two are like walking up to your camp. I didn't see you there, but thanks for chiming in. But I'm telling you, yeah, 23 unaccounted for. What did you do with those? I killed them, of course. So that means I'm at what? He's like
23 versus 22, so the elf
I win, right?
Like.
No. That can't be right. Now, look, I know for a fact, like he's still going over it. I know for a fact, and they're being kind of loud, so it's like they might try to wake up the rest of your companions and interrupt their long rest unless you want to, like...
Does sound stop.
With my passive
Nope.
perception of 20, would I wake up?
You most likely can, yeah.
Gentlemen, some of our companions are still sleeping.
No, sorry about that. Sorry. I'll use my indoor voice.
My indoor dwarf voice?
Yeah.
Is that what he just said?
My indoor voice. Yeah. Just because you're speaking in a lower tone doesn't mean it's quieter. You stay out of... you stay out of this. And he's like... The elf's like shaking his head. It's like, sorry to bother you guys. Look, Fine, Mr. Dwarf. I will pay for the drinks. Let's just leave these kind people in kind and head on our way. That's more like it. And he slaps the elf on the back. Says, let's go get some drinks. And you guys have a nice morning, okay?
Yeah, you too.
You as well.
Yeah, so he's in a better mood now. The elf kind of conceded, but the elf's got like this. I know.
Not
I'm
my
right.
fault he can't fucking count.
Yeah. So the elf's like, he gives you like a nod, like thank you in a way, and he's like, we know I won, and then he walks away. That still just counts as one, as you hear him halfway down. But I killed the beast and the rider, and they're still kind of trailing off as they kind of go on. But for the rest of your watch, it's just pretty much still after that. You might notice a early morning caravan trying to get an early start on the road, traveling by, but other than that, the sun comes up. It's still cloudy as all get out, and it, like I said, it looks like it could pour at any minute.
I'll just give the wagon a good glance over, make sure it hasn't taken too much damage.
You took nothing from the fight.
Oh yeah, the wagon.
No, I mean from
Like,
travel wear.
Yeah, travel wear. Like, yeah, the wagon's been doing pretty good. Like, the carriage must, like, the guy who did the carriage work must have really checked over these wheels and made sure that they were, really travel worthy. So, it doesn't look like any chips in the wood or anything that are too significant to keep you from moving at the pace you're currently trying to keep. Morning comes.
That's good.
Yeah, morning comes. The rest of you start to wake up or get woken up, however you want to do it.
So, what was that ruckus this morning?
I'm assuming just some friends arguing.
We just glanced into a mirror for a little while.
That's one way to put it.
Morning.
Morning.
Yes, then.
Right, so who wants
Yeah.
breakfast? And I'll just take out my mess kit and start.
Alright.
Well, if he's cooking, I am eating.
Now,
So, did you guys see that werewolf thingy?
Little girl? No.
Yes, I.
I saw her. Little thing must be off adventuring that night when her parents saw us.
the sky starts to thunder. And then a few moments pass. And then rain starts to pouring slowly. Then it gets a little bit heavier. Your campfire starts to drizzle out.
I'll scoot into my tent then.
Alright. But yeah, it's starting
I
to
go
rain.
feed the horses.
What are you feeding them? Good berries again?
Well, yeah, because we didn't buy provisions for them.
Yeah, that's a damn shame, right? So you cast good berries and start feeding them good berries.
Yeah,
And they're fed.
and give them a pat on the head or something.
They both kind of nuzzle into you, and the big one, or the one that seems like an alpha of sorts just kind of like stands there proudly. It's like showing that he's ready to go do whatever. But yeah, it's starting to pour out here, guys. I mean, I assume the tiny hut might still be up for a little bit.
I mean, only for maybe minutes after we wake.
Yeah. So like, you got a moment to think about how you're going to break down camp or how you're going to do things.
Well, I'm gonna pull up my hood since it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull up mine as well and just start packing up.
Yeah.
And if there are any of the good berries left, then I can guess I can.
Well, you make a bunch of them per cast.
Yeah, you make like what?
Yeah,
10?
like 10. So
there you go. You can pass them around, and everybody can have that. Thanks for the follow.
Thanks for the
So-
good.
And they're like,
that's
that's pretty good berries.
breakfast.
So yeah, you guys are chowing down breakfast on good berries for the most part, from what I understand. Like this here carriage is like a stagecoach, so like there's an interior, so you're not in the rain. The driver might actually be, getting a little wet, but there's always that what is it, like a, what am I trying to think of? It's like a yawning, not a yawning, but
Awning?
is that what I'm thinking? Yawn? It sounds like a weird word of what I'm trying to describe, but you know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
like
awning,
the
awning, not yawning. I
extendable
don't know
roof.
why I'm thinking why, but it's awning. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so like an awning that's like coming over that would block out the sun and block out most of the rain. So whoever's driving, you might have your hood up or whatever, and you're just traveling along. Is there anything else you guys want to do as you're making this trip?
You guys try to check out the girl, or just want to go straight to the job? Well, oh,
Brad, can you please repeat yourself?
He was asking about the girl.
want we're wolf girl, or do you want to go straight to the job?
She didn't come close and didn't do anything particular, so
I don't see no reason to interfere with her life. Just a little curious little girl.
Okay.
Yeah, she obviously wasn't causing us issue.
Alright, so the carriage moves on. What I'd like to do now is, if you guys are up for it, we'll take a quick 5-minute break. Anybody got to use
yes.
the restroom, get a drink? We're going to take 5 minutes, everybody. Appreciate you coming in and watching. Go ahead, take your 5-minute break. We'll come back in 5 and we'll continue the story from there. And I'll just kind of like talk with chat here while we're getting situated.
Okay.
Yeah, so take your time. So story right now is that Dancing Lights, this group that is adventurers in Timor, have taken a job request on an adventure board of sorts to go investigate a city known as Dragonspine, where they will meet with Sister Albright of the Temple of Illumina, which strikes the Illumina worshippers kind of odd. So, yeah. So as soon as they get to where they're going, like we're doing like trek journey right now, having a little stop and go, seeing the sights. We might pick it up a little bit to try to get to Felbrand a little faster, but figure we go ahead and spend the first day getting everything kind of set up as we head there. But yeah, everybody's on break for a little bit here, so I'll put our BRB up. Boop. Be back shortly, guys.
By the way, if no one minds, I'll drive the cart. I'm the soldier with the lamp proficiency.
Go nuts.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another drink.
The star has returned. How's everybody else looking?
Still breathing.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Just saying, Lexi totally should have unmuted while we're on break.
Yeah, she can come in here and talk if she wants for right now. Are we still waiting on anybody?
While we're on break.
Yeah.
Y'all asked for Alexi?
Hey, Lexi, how are you?
He's sitting in here being so patient and then not saying hi on break. It's like, aw.
Well, she's been actually manning my Twitch chat. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Keeping
It's the
everybody.
least I can do.
Yeah, making everybody feel welcome.
Afternoon, little lady.
Your character is absolutely funny.
I just figured I'd try an accent. I'm failing terribly at Cajun, but I still want to try.
Well, to me, it sounds like a mixture between a cowboy that hasn't grown into puberty yet.
Oh no.
So pre-Brokeback Mountain.
Oh my god.
Why not?
Oh god.
Not that I'm casting aspersions that our, good friend Will is a complete, flaming homosexual that likes fucking other cowboys in mountains, but...
Oh my god.
Wow, that's taking it a bit far.
We're having fun.
Honestly, we're gonna have people that might be popping in chat who are too young to know what Brokeback Mountain was.
That's true. Some people don't know what that is.
And
I pretend
frankly,
not
that
to know.
kind of scares me. It makes me sad.
I don't want to know what that is. I mean, I'm aware of what it is. Oscar, are you here?
Yes. And
Just offhandly, can you make a perception check, like checking yourself?
sure, why not? I'm going to fill out like every other skill check today, but
Well-
yeah, why not?
Yeah, I wondered about that.
What do you know?
Yeah.
See, you haven't been rolling too hot.
Well, if it ever comes up, I'll let you know.
Obviously, something of Oscars is missing from the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Did he take my mask?
No, your mask is there. Like, all right,
The
go.
thing that's
All right,
welded on my face?
I tell you what. Like, go through the things that you think you should have easy access to, and I'll tell you if you have it or not. Since you're like patting yourself.
Bag of
down.
holding for one.
Mm-hmm.
The rations, I know not really, but the magic items are all in the bag. The scroll, all the scrolls I would have put in the bag. The dagger, maybe not.
All right.
And I don't know why I still have that teleport scroll. That should be gone.
You sold that, right?
Yeah, and the coin. I mean, wand of magic missiles kind of have it ready at all times. The book, not so much. That's kind of just on me.
Yeah. Well, you used the wand earlier, so you know you.
Or
have
no,
that.
I don't even think I have that book. I don't know why I have that on there.
You have a ritual book, right?
No, the Oceanic Survival book. I
Oh,
think that's it.
Oh, you put that at the house. All right. By the way, has anybody decided to read that again?
Well, if we were to have downtime this session again, then yes, I would have picked it up.
Oh, there ain't gonna
Something
be
you
no
could.
downtime
Okay,
anymore.
well, we're sitting in a carriage for most of the day. We could certainly start leafing through the damn thing if
If
that's
you
gonna
brought
be
it
a thing.
with, I mean, if you didn't bring it with, we can worry about it whenever. Like,
But yeah, I think most of my magic stuff is going to be in the bag, but
Okay,
everything else.
I don't mean to be a loot whore,
uh-huh.
but are there any magic items in the bag of holding that would be useful to lose someone?
Cloak of Menaray, the Silver Spotted Climbing I gave to Zereth. I mean, Ring of Spellstorm, but I'm wearing that. Really, just my ritual book and the Cloak of Menaray.
And nothing else.
Well, we also had our new purchases.
Welcome back.
Yep.
All right. So
Yeah, but I don't think that was I don't think I actually got anything other than just like spell components, or maybe it's.
No, our new like auction items.
Yeah, I have the maze disruption.
Who is? Someone's got a broom.
That is in your bag of holding.
Oscar has
Oh.
it, right?
Yeah, Oscar has it.
Borden doesn't.
Whoa, hold on, you're cutting out there.
I'm
Is it
pretty
you?
mine.
Is it you or me?
Like I said, I could carry it, but I wasn't going to use it because I don't fly.
Yeah, I think they all agreed that you having a flying advantage might actually help.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't want the broom, we could just give it.
No, by all means.
No.
By all means.
Let's put it on a horse and see how that works.
Sure.
Would it?
No.
It worked with a man centaur.
All right, calm your tatas. Let's get back to it. So, we're getting back into it. Everybody's back. Well, let's see here. Hey, you guys are traveling to Felran, which is an outpost of Dragonborns mostly, and an outpost where military attachments go to get ready for war if they need to. For the sake of brevity, we're going to speed this little process up. So we'll do a perception check for the daytime, and then we'll just skip the night events unless I roll something that makes me say, okay, hold on, we got to do this. But for now, so who is keeping an eye on the road as you guys are traveling further towards Felran?
I'm driving. I don't know. Unless someone else wants to keep.
I'll keep an eye out for interesting stuff unless someone else wants to do it this time.
If Seraph did it
Hell,
last time...
you know what? We mentioned the book. I'll sit in the fucking thing and try to read that god-awful book.
Ooh, boy. Okay. Let me go find this book real quick.
Because you were hell-bent on this book.
No, I'm not. I just brought it
So
up
were
because
we
it was
when we bought it.
Well, yeah, it was one of those loose end stories that I was thinking about. Well, that is a loose end that's right there. I mean, it's up to you. So, I'm not just bringing it up. Let's see, where is it at?
Technically, I brought that up, so yeah, sorry.
No, I brought it up.
I didn't know there was a book.
There it is. So, while you're reading this book, giving it another once-over, make a history check.
History. What the hell is this? There it is.
And for those who don't know what the oceanic survival is, this book is written in a terrible, horrible, long sentences, bad structuring, roundabout way of repeating what they already said once or twice. The script wording is just gibberish. Alright, so that failed. Now, let's see here. I need you to make an investigation check on it now.
An investigation on the book.
Yep.
You lightly
As you wish.
You lightly caress its spine.
Hey, no, I rolled the one. I lightly crested spot.
And then you fall asleep reading. So yeah, you try to read through the first 3 or 4 pages and you're like, oh my god, why did I do that? You just kind of sleep hypnosis as you're reading the same shit over and over. It's like, what? Clonk. So whatever's in this book, you just weren't able to suss out. But yeah, anybody in the carriage just saw Borden just put his head in the book.
Can I take notice of the book and see what it's about? What
Yeah,
You're aware of the
you're
book.
right
You've
there.
seen it before.
Yeah, it's called Oceanic Survival.
May I try reading or no?
Well, it's right there in his face. I mean, if you can get it away from him.
Okay.
I mean, roleplay.
He's asleep,
Roleplay,
isn't he?
dude. Roleplay. If you want to just take
I'll
it, or
try
you
to
want to ask.
sleight of hand it out of.
Okay. So, what's your passive perception board?
23.
Yeah, well, you notice him doing it, or her doing it, but it's up to you if you want to do anything about it. In a way, you're like,
I'm gonna do. I was reading that.
You fell asleep.
I was reading that.
Okay.
I'm not saying she can't have it. I was reading that.
Yeah, he kind of wakes up, like, I was reading that. Why are you taking that away,
Hey, those people that are watching TV dead asleep. You go to turn the channel. Hold on, I was watching that.
Yeah. And you hear an elf just bellowing his lungs out at the front of the carriage. Listening song sucks.
I don't care.
It might be like a frog croaking in your throat or something. I mean, it must have been one of them mornings, you know what I mean?
Lucilin.
I'm just singing my heart out. Yeah?
I don't want to discourage you, but the crasping sound of a crow sounds better.
Yeah, well, in the military, this is a masterpiece.
One, two,
Well, we're in
two.
civilian life now, buddy.
You're inside the carriage.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back into the
But if
carriage.
it's bad enough that I got woke up and, someone else is complaining about it, my 23 passive ought to say something about this whole caterwauling we hear going on.
Yeah. You could probably be speaking right through that little window that leads out to where their drivers are. But, so what do we...
Fine.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'll whistle instead. I'll just start whistling.
Okay. What are we doing with the book? I just need to know where it's at. It's with Gordon still, right?
Cindy can have it. Obviously, I'm not getting a shit out of it right now.
I want to try to see what makes him so tight.
All right, so you're looking over this book. So let's go over this. What I need from you first is a history check as you kind of look over the front of the cover. Yeah, the name of the author does not ring a bell to you. It's by Evan Sillywarber and called Oceanic Survival. And like I said, this book is terrible, horrible long sentences, but let's make an investigation check to see if you can suss anything out about this book. So, here's what happens. Sydney, you get about 3 or 4 pages in, and you're like, why is this... And you're like flipping the page back and forth for a minute. You're like, you said all that, but... And then you keep reading, and then all of a sudden you two start nodding off, and then the book is now kissing your forehead. As you kind of lean into it and just kind of doze off in that hypnosis state.
I'll take the book, or attempt to take the book.
What's your passive perception, Sydney?
13, so I still sleep.
Yeah, still asleep. Matter of fact, Sydney kind of leans on board and...
I'm awake. The fuck no, she's not.
So you like push her off to the side. It's like, nope. But, alright, so Sydney's like a wobbling pendulum in the middle of you two, and then Oscar's got the book. What do you want to do?
I'll read it.
Alright, so history check as you kind of look over Evan Sillywarber.
Natural 20.
Holy cow. So,
Okay.
you recollect, maybe it was something in parentheses, you don't know, but this guy, Evan Sillywarber, maybe that's his surname that he goes by, but you know that this guy used to be a treasure hunter whose fortune was never shown to the world. He was a big talker, but never had proof up front about it. I mean, so he's like one of those people who just... Like, everybody thought he was making this shit up, but he made the story sound so real that you're like, this guy wrote Oceanic Survival? Really? But now I need you to go ahead and see if you can suss anything out about the pages. Not with that, I'm afraid. So,
Holy crap, not a natural 1.
yeah, well, that's good. Like, you flip through it. There might be some kind of structure here. You're not sure. You're not making sense. You're in that state where it's like, okay, so he's repeating things, but maybe he's doing it with a purpose. You're not sure. You kind of keep flipping through the pages. You get about halfway through the book. But then again, it's like, this book is dry as... You just kind of like toss it off to the side, unable to get anything out of it. Our viewers will kind of know a little bit more, but you guys won't. Well, actually, I popped it out, but they might have seen the other information. So, yeah, you didn't fall asleep at least. Didn't roll that 1. I think that's what, 3-1 in a row between all of you.
Yep, it was.
So there you go. I mean, you got a little bit of insight on the book, but This thing is just so dry, you're not even sure you could stand to do it again, but you're welcome to try. But the author kind of rings a bell to you like, oh yeah, he was a famous treasure hunter who talked big and never had proof.
Or is that, there's obviously some key to this book, so I'll keep trying at it unless someone else wants to take it away.
Yeah, for today you're done. Like, there's nothing else you can do. Like, you have to mentally rest to like, okay, I had enough of this book. I can't do nothing else with it. Maybe I'll look at it again tomorrow. You can try again then.
Okay, I'll give it back to the board and whoever's mad at it.
Yeah, and
I'm
you can
gonna make
relay
that
the...
perception check now.
Alright, yeah, go ahead. And like I said, you can give them the information that you saw, you heard. Or about the author. And you're like, oh yeah, that author. If you so choose. What'd I get, 50? Let's see what... I'll see if it's anything worth noting, and if it is, we'll do it. If it's not, then we'll just keep going.
I'll be leaning on Oscar now, sleep.
Think carefully about what you said, and I have prestidigitation.
No. I was pendulum. I was trying to decide who would I fall on.
Yeah. He's still asleep. Or she is.
Message air horn.
You're awake.
Wow, that was... Thank you for that.
Has Sydney ever heard an air horn before?
No, she has now.
I punch.
You what?
And only she could hear that, so...
Yeah. But, yeah. The main event that happens on this ride is you probably get slowed down a little bit with heavy rain. There's a storm brewing. It's coming in hard. And for like 30 minutes of this trip, it starts to hail. So there's ice cubes like pelting you, like little bitty ice cubes that are coming down, pelting you, the horses. The horses are fine though, because they're in split mail. And, you're underneath the awning and avoiding most of that. And you guys in the carriage are hearing like almost like a tin roof, but definitely on a wood surface this time. So you guys are like hearing all that going up against the top of your roof there. But you're forced to slow down a little bit, but you manage to keep going. It takes a better part of the afternoon before it starts to die down. It gets back into like a heavy rain. And you guys come over towards a river that looks like it's about to overflow. Like it's cresting at the very top, and it looks like it might seep out and start, flooding the nearby region. But for the most part, you guys can like make it across this with no problem at this time. You think if it keeps raining like this, though, the trip back might be a problem. You continue for maybe another couple hours. Oh, go ahead. No, by all means.
No, if we made it past, never mind. It's not a big...
Yeah, I was just kind of like saying, you can make it past, you should be fine. And you do know that this might be a problem on the way back, though. But that's a future you problem, I guess. And you continue. And then the evening hours start to come down. So, just for the sake of brevity, you guys like set up a camp nearby where you can kind of get in. You know for sure the next day you should be able to get to Felran. So if you get there within the evening, you think you'll be able to go ahead and sleep at an actual inn or something. But,
Go say hi to Granny.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, God, I get to pull out all the wonderful NPCs we made. So with that, you guys spend the night out here. The nightly events are pretty relative. Like, no serious, no serious events that come your way this time. There might be, like, during the twilight hours, in the far, far distance, back from the which you came, you might catch a glimpse of, like, glowing ruins. But this is, like, coming like a common occurrence that you guys are not totally surprised by it by now. And then you guys continue the next morning. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, do before, like, getting to Felran.
I mean, I was thinking more before getting to, the end of sleep.
Yeah. I mean, we could back up a little bit. Like, I'm just trying to get you there, and then trying to get to where the, I'm just trying to...
We haven't seen Granny in a hot second.
Alright, so you guys want to have a conversation that night? Before you go to bed, or... Are we going all the way to Fel? Like, you're not in Felran right now. You're just outside, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Would Oscar share the information of the book that he learned?
Yes, I'd share it after I give it back to Gordon.
The person not just full of horseshit.
Apparently, that remains to be seen. But someone that claimed to be a treasure hunter actually wrote the book.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption.
But whether or not he was is, I don't know.
You can say this.
Well, can't say I've ever traveled with such a literate bunch that sits around the campfire having a little bit of a book. It's a bit refreshing, truth be told.
Lucilin, it's the best book you'll ever read. You gotta try it.
Seriously?
Are you pushing this book on him?
Yes.
Alright. Let me take a gander here.
Alright, so give me a history check. As you look over the cover, reads Oceanic Survival. It says Evan Sillerwhopper was the author of this book, and you have no idea who that is right now.
The ocean. I don't give a fuck about the ocean.
So yeah, you're like, with that attitude, you're going into it, so make me an investigation as you kind of flip through the pages. Ooh, very close. So you're looking at it and you're reading all these, like, there's a few chapters that look like they repeat the following chapter, but after a second it seems like it's repeating, but words are jumbled in specific manners. But you can't quite put it all together, like, okay, why is this guy talking circles is basically what you're getting at. And
is this some kind of cipher, some kind of code, something else?
yeah, like, you're suspicious of this book being something like that, but you just did not make the DC on this thing in order to, like, break it wide open. So, but you look through it and it's like, this is some really dry reading. Like, you have your suspicion something's up with this book, but other than that, you can't put any information into it.
So I'll just hand it back. It's all dry. I imagine a high elf wrote it. Might be some sort of cipher or something else. So, I don't know.
I pull out She Lives, romance book got from the bookstore. Start.
You read a lovely romance about a woman who is finding herself in her life and trying to fight her way out of a forced arranged marriage.
How terrible.
No, but through the power of love and her real love coming into her life.
I'm just gonna slit my wrist at this point.
Yeah. You get the idea, right?
Thank God I'm not the one reading it.
Yeah, for real. So you get the idea. So, yeah, you're reading a love story about some woman. But yeah, you guys have any other information you want to talk about before we close the night off? By all means, go right ahead.
Well, I saw nothing on the road today.
And you guys want to read this book? It's pretty good.
I'd rather not.
No, Cindy. Please enjoy it yourself.
Okay. Like, flip through quickly.
She goes to her favorite chapter.
I'm going to start putting some spells into my ring at the end of the day.
Alright, what spells are you putting in there?
I'm putting in Floating Disc, Detect Magic, and Invisibility.
Alright.
And, oh yeah, I'm going to put one level of Guiding Bolt to the Iron Stone.
Ah, that lovely ion stone you won at the auction. By the way, this thing's floating in the air, right?
Yeah, floating around my head.
Okay. So, yeah, this is one thing we haven't really noticed because we didn't talk about it. So, I'm going to say, for the sake of you guys are actually out, you're like, okay, we're about to adventure. You see Oscar, enchanting the ring, like putting his spells in there. And you're like, oh yeah, I can do something like that too. You pull out the Ion Stone, you put your spell in there, and then you toss it into the air, and it starts levitating around your head and doing like revolutions around your head.
Crown.
Can I try and grab that thing?
You certainly can.
Actually, you can, and there are rules in place to do so.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna snatch it out of the air.
Hold on.
You miss.
Hold on.
Ah.
Hold on, let me
It's
look it up.
24, if I remember.
It might be Ioun, huh? Yeah. Let me click it. Thank you. So let's see here.
24.
Has a 24 AC. Well, yeah. So you have to make an acrobatics check, not a sleight of hand.
Ah, okay.
Close,
20.
but no cigar. So you try to grab it, and it just kind of levitates past your hand, and you're like, oh, you're like reaching at it like a cat trying to get at that ball of yarn, and you just can't quite get it.
Sir, I appreciated it. Didn't grab at my face, please.
Oh, it's not the face that I'm after. I just want to take a closer look at that spinning thing.
Yeah, it's spinning around her face, though.
I'll try to grab it from behind her.
Yeah, go for it. Acrobatics. So, yeah, so Lucilin grabs it, and then you're waiting for it to come back to its revolution. You're like, where did it go?
Where did it go? Oh no. I look around.
I'm holding it behind me. Just saw some sort of fairy grab it and just take it. So
Make a deception check. While I take this.
I walk up to
stone.
Lucilin.
Yes.
Okay.
I want him to hand it over.
I'll slip it.
I know you're full shit.
So I slip it to Zara.
A natural one.
Yes.
Okay, what are we doing, you crazy monkeys?
I was slipping it to Zara. He failed.
Don't you have reliable talent at this point?
Not yet.
Okay, so yeah, that's
since Zareth is the one that's grabbing, I imagine it would fly up behind, close to him. I would just turn. Zareth, how could you? How could you?
Hey,
God.
I obviously missed. I don't know where it comes from.
If you just need to see it here, I grab it and just show it.
So you get your stone back, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you get.
Yeah, so basically, even if you have plus 10, it doesn't change the fact that you rolled a 1. A 1 is still a 1 unless you have reliable talent, because then anything below 9 is considered 10. But yeah, so you
And then I get my modifiers added to that still, so.
Yeah, so it goes 10 plus your modifiers at that point. But yeah, so
And then
yeah,
that would be 21.
pretty much. That's why it's called reliable talent. Because it doesn't make sense for a rogue not to be able to do what they can do, you know? But at the same time there, you're like, so you got your stone back and you can put it back into rotation or you can put it away. What do you want to do?
Like I want to actually read the rules. What?
Right, so anything else we need to discuss aside from really boring book?
Well, I had the sense that that book has some is more than it seems, but I haven't been able to figure it out. And then I forgot about it.
Did Zareth want to take a read?
Oh yes.
No, then take the book and let's do some rolls. I need a history from you.
Natural 20.
You know that this treasure hunter, similar information that, well, maybe that's why you know, because, well, that's what Oscar said. Oh, yeah, that guy. So you can think back to that guy. It's like, yeah, I think I actually saw him in the inn one time, just bragging and bragging, but he had no proof. So,
Can I help?
help with? No, you're not reading the book with him. What are you doing? Looking over his shoulder? No. He has to make an investigation now on his own.
23.
Very interesting. Repeating chapter. There's a few chapters that look like they repeat following chapter, but after a few seconds it seems repeating, but words are jumbled in specific manners. When it's discovered that these chapters' wording is different and analyzed, the following cipher is readable on an investigation DC 20. You had a 23, congratulations. And you must spend at least an hour or so. So you spend an hour reading this book. And you read that the treasure that was found on a trip is hidden away. Southern Island, Port Valandor, Salit 2-hour march northeast. The longitude and latitude markings, like somewhere in this cipher you're picking up this information. And ideally when they, okay, so that's my information. But
the treasure is hidden in
here,
an island?
Here, I will like you start canceling out certain letters, certain words, and then you start seeing a pattern, and this is kind of like what you're reading or the information you're getting out of all this book. Like, you're like, okay, so these words weren't in the same reading of this other chapter, and they're like appearing, like you're basically picking out the words that are not in the first chapter. Even though it repeats itself, you're like picking out all the words that were, not in the first chapter, and you're like, oh, okay, so, or, you're breaking down this cipher in a way, and now you know that this is what is hidden in the book.
So then, about after an hour or so, guys, I think I found something. So I flipped back to the first page on the book, and then the treasure that was found on the trip is hidden away. The southern island, Port Valador, solid 2 hours march northeast. And then it has a bunch of coordinates, and then it says the cave, third entrance, second entrance, fourth entrance, and the first. And that's the only meaningful thing that is in here.
Right, well, it seems we can go on a treasure hunt but aren't we on the job right now?
Well, there you go. Now you have the information of the ocean survival.
Good job, Sarah. You survived the book.
Yeah, so you figured out, oh, this is why it's so freaking dry. So in a way, you can kind of appreciate the author's way of hiding it. And at the same time, like boring other readers into reading it, and they can't catch the clues, but you're like proud of yourself because I was actually able to decipher it. So there, nah.
A clever way of hiding something, but now my head hurts.
Yeah, might leave a little bit of headache, but you still got a little pride there. But yeah, the night comes to a close. Unless there's anything else, of course.
Not for me.
And if we're not making it to town, then
yeah, you won't be able to make it till tomorrow. Like, it's still going to be another day. So if you're not going to make it there, but you'll be able to go there the next day. So I was kind of like stopping the day before we got there because I thought you wanted to do all that. But yeah, you could definitely stop in Velrand and have a little time there too, which will be next. So you get up in the morning, unless there's any objections, by all means interrupt me. You get up in the morning, put away camp.
Yes, we do. I feed the horses again with good berries.
Sounds good. And let's get somebody else to do the perception check for today.
I'll do it.
Alright, so while Lucelin's up there, go ahead and roll perception as you go through today. Alright, let me see what
11.
Let me see what horrible tantrums we can make happen. So we're looking at a 44. In case anybody's wondering, I have like a couple D100 charts of random events just in case to kind of spice things up. But if I feel like it doesn't make sense, then we're just going to bypass it. Well, that won't work. That might actually work. Okay. So you're traveling for about maybe 2 or 3 hours after the morning, and you get to a point where you see a looming figure way up in the air, Lucille, and it's like flapping wings, and it's like coming towards your direction. And then for a moment, everybody feels like there's eyes on them, like you feel like you're being watched. This thing's probably a good 500 feet away. And you could see it almost starting to block out what little sunlight's coming through the clouds.
Right, I'll quickly pull the wagon a little bit off the road towards the...
As it gets closer and closer, you make out the figure of a dragon. Go ahead.
As soon as we're off the road, I'm gonna jump out and walk up and ask why we're stopping. And I move between the cart and the tree line.
Probably going to get out and look while we're stopping.
Yeah. So you all kind of look around, and you see a silver-scaled dragon land like a good 20 feet away from you guys, and its elongated neck kind of comes down towards the carriage, and it kind of sniffs at the horses and then looks at you guys who are scattering from the carriage, from what I'm understanding.
Well, I was walking up to Lucille to ask why we stopped as soon as we...
I didn't say I was stopping. I was just putting us towards forest. Unless, enough time has come that I can stop the horse.
Yeah, you kind of have to come to a stop because this dragon, gets in your way, and it's, stopping you. It's like, hold a minute. I have a question for you.
What is it, mighty dragon?
I'm looking for a black-scaled dragonborn. Have you seen one near here?
No, sir. Haven't seen anyone by that description.
He wears red robes. He attacked something in my horde, and he has something that belongs to me. I must get it back. And he kind of flaps his wings after getting that information. He starts to take off into the skies, and he starts zooming towards the west.
Right. That's why I stopped the wagon.
Good call.
Yeah. Alright. Sorry about that, Samachi. We had a small dragon encounter and you missed it. But yeah, he just came down there, swooped down. It's like, do you have this information? You didn't. And he's like, alright. Up he goes, and off he went. And with that, yeah, he's going back towards Timor for all you know. He just kind of noticed your carriage, and he's like, alright, I'll just go down there and ask them if they've seen something. At least that's what you think he was going through. But yeah.
Which direction come from?
You came from the west. You're going east.
The dragon.
The dragon's going toward... He came from the east. He's going west. Somewhere... Yeah, it looks like he might have came from the mountain range. That you can kind of see looming, towards the northeast.
Yes, he's looking for something, but that means that his nest is probably unguarded at the moment.
Right, I'm gonna get the wagon back on the road.
Yeah, so everybody gets back in, I take it. Unless you want to be left behind.
Yeah, I'll get...
no, I'm gonna climb back into the wagon.
Charging battery.
I'm gonna stay right here. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so everybody gets back in the wagon. You get the wagon back on the road, and off you go. You're making it towards Felran. For the better part of the day, nothing super eventful. You just see the usual caravans coming in and out. You see the usual carriages that are trying to trudge down this almost muddy road now. And you guys been kind of slowed down a little bit to be careful, because there's been some slipping and traction going on with the way the road's been getting even more increasingly harder to push through. But these horses are tough, and they just plow right on through like it's nothing. And by nightfall, you guys enter into the outpost known as Felran Outpost. Familiar to most. Probably to all, actually. Even though Lucilin wasn't part of your group, he should be very well aware of what this outpost is, like, portrayed for. Like, it's a, it's like a, it's a staging point for, like...
Charging battery.
Quit charging my battery. Sorry, my headset's charging. So this is like a staging point for where troops are like distributed depending upon where they need it. And many wars have been fought like in a nearby ravine. And there's been recently that one incident where a bunch of dragons just kind of came down and crushed both sides of an orc army and the armies that was gathering there to fight them. So, certain group of you would remember that. But yeah, there's the inn that's here called the Rising Gaze. The Rising Gaze Inn. And I take it you all want to stop here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stable the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Look if our old cart is perhaps standing here.
What are you looking for?
Our old cart that we got handed down from the
Yeah.
Guild when we originally moved here.
You're probably not going to be able to find that cart. I mean, you can go to the outpost and actually talk to the commander in charge now.
Now that can wait till the morning, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So at the Rising Gaze Inn, for those who do not know, there's a barkeep here who runs the Raised... Okay. Oh yeah, that's his name. Alright, I get it now. So there's a red dragonborn who's the barkeep, and then there's a human barmaid that's kind of going around with blonde hair, curly, slim, and she's just kind of like going around getting everybody's orders. You guys kind of like rush in, and it's like, oh, it must be raining pretty bad out there. How are you guys doing? You need anything to drink or eat, or are you here for a room? What can we do for you?
All three of them. And yes, the weather sucks.
Quite. So, if you all would like to have a seat, we can get you something to eat, get you some drinks down your gullet, and then if you're ready to register for rooms, I'll let Darnoth over there know. And the red dragonborn kind of looks up from where he is, and the place is kind of empty right now. You think the storm might be keeping people from getting out, and he just kind of nods in your general direction. It's like,
Oh yeah, you should know that there is black dragon, red, stole some dragon. So have here. Just
You're
be
breaking
careful.
up.
Yeah.
welcome back, by the
Badly.
way.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't miss much.
No, you missed the silver dragon asking for a black dragonborn that came into his horde. But since you guys didn't have any information, he went on about his business, and you guys finally made it to Felran. And it's now that following
But
night.
don't... Oh no, wait, that's a different campaign.
No. Yeah, you don't know anything. Would you just love how I put traces of both of them in every campaign? I do it to fuck with you who are in both.
Sometimes no. Sometimes no, I genuinely don't, because wait, I know this shit. Oh wait, never mind, we don't.
I know, that's why I do it.
I informed the bark that there's a black dragon that stole some from Dragon's Keep. So careful.
What color was the big old silver dragon you said?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
And we suspect that it came from somewhere in the mountain range to the northeast.
Is that so? That must be old. Undescriptive name of a dragon that I have yet to name. Put a placeholder on that one. Because I feel like dragons deserve a name of power, and I just don't want to just come up with something offhanded.
Well, and this is a silver dragon, so if I'm not mistaken, it's actually a good dragon.
Yeah, they should be good. Siler Lance. Siler Lance sounds like a good name.
The southern. Got it.
Siler Lance. It's like all one word. So he's like, Siler Lance must be on the prowl then. Somebody's messing with his horde.
We heard some rumors about some raids on trade caravans.
Yeah, I think I might have heard something about that too. Whereabouts are you talking though?
I believe it was this direction, or was it up north? I forgot.
We have the thing with us, do we not? We carry the letter. You know, the job posting.
Yeah, you got the letter if you need to look it over. Dragonspine was mentioned, if that's what you're looking for, like the town.
Can I do a perception check again?
What are you looking for?
What I lost.
Yeah, go ahead. Now, your bag of beans might have been in the bag of holding.
I don't have a bag of beans. That was one thing I left on
Where'd
there
you-
without.
Where was it?
That Borden has that.
How
No, we have the bag of beans has been carried by me forever.
Well,
Yeah.
it was in his inventory. That's what I was looking at.
I
What's the bag of beans in your
way
inventory?
back when I just threw everything in.
Well, then
and
take that off your inventory, and I'll
clean.
go look at your inventory again. Then yeah, your dagger's missing.
Okay.
You have no reason to pull out your dagger, but now it's missing.
Yeah, I
Like,
can't remember the last time his dagger was actually drawn.
Yeah, it's
I-
like yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was indeed rumors about Dragonspire.
Oh,
Animal
dragon
Farm.
spine, you mean? I don't know why people keep calling it spire. There ain't no spire there. That city was made on the back of a dragon, you know. The gate. Nothing but the dragon's actual spine. That's why it got its name.
Quite
So-
the imaginative lot.
Say again?
So quite the imaginative lot,
Yeah.
man. That.
Pretty simple people, I'm afraid.
So what can you tell us about that place?
Oh, filled with many dragonborn, I assume. Like, if you ain't been from around here, you should know dragonborn are pretty popular in this location, and we kind of have the protection of the good dragons that kind of watch after us. As long as we keep our noses clean, they won't get in our business, and it sounds like one of them decided they wanted to get dirty. He won't last long.
Speaking of Dragonborn, how's Granny doing? She's still kicking around in town?
Oh, yeah, that old hag, she's just kicking up a storm. Apparently the season change, though. It's kind of giving her a bad cough. But she'll tough it out, no problem. You, friends with her?
She helped us out when we first started making the run, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. She comes in here for a drink every now and then, and... Yeah.
I'll slide him a gold. Like the next one's on us.
That's mighty kind
You
of
still
you.
looking for any herbs?
It's gonna be
We can
hard.
talk to her.
Yeah, by all
Okay.
means, ask her, but, not right now, of course, it's late. But, you can check with her first thing in the morning. So, I tell you what, for about 2 more gold, how about I get you all rooms? He's basically cutting you a good deal on the rooms.
Yeah, we've been around here. Like, I'm not saying these are our people, but these are kind of our people.
Right, I assumed you were all together coming in like you did. If I was wrong,
I was
by
saying
all
that
means.
out of character.
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah. All right.
These Dragonborn people, here's where we started.
Yeah, this is where the campaign started, was in this outpost.
I'll pay for the rooms if y'all don't mind. I also like to purchase a bottle of fine wine if you don't mind as well.
Well, I tell you what, you put 3 gold in front of me and I'll make sure you get our finest.
All right, I'll give him 3 gold.
He'll take the 3 gold, he'll grab a bottle from the top shelf, hands it off to you. Red wine good for you, Elf?
Yeah, that's more than fine.
Well, then there you go, friend. And here's your room keys, and he just kind of pass out keys for you to each have an individual room. The rooms are up the stairs. There's a long hallway. Look for the number on your key. You should be fine for the night. And then you just let me know if you need another room tomorrow night, unless you're not going to be staying with us.
I think we'll be passing through, but we'll be sure to stop by on our way back.
By the way, are there along the way we run into some wandering undead?
Not
That was
uncommon.
Gareth. Are there more of those things wandering about?
You know, there's these bleeds that they keep talking about. Those scholarly types coming around whispering about ethereal bleeds. But I don't know how much faith I could put into them. I haven't seen one personally. I've been stuck in this bar. But I hear adventurers come in and out, soldiers even, come and tell me that they see these ancient-like ruins, and then there's like wandering zombies and ghosts, and I'm like, you're full of shit. You ain't nothing but telling me a story to try to get cheap wine.
Charging battery.
Quit charging my battery. Sorry. But yeah. So.
No, sadly, I can't assure you they aren't lying.
Is
There
that
are
fair?
a large number of undead around these things.
Well, far be it from me to be able to go out and see it for myself. I'll take your word for it. It does seem a little strange that someone I haven't met would say the same thing too, so there must be some merit to it. Well then, I hope you all enjoy your rooms. If you need anything else, you let me know, or you let the little missy over there know. She'll take care of you.
Not a kind of.
Thank you very much, sir.
Will, what were you saying?
Nah, just said mighty kind of you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and what were you saying, Sydney?
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, Ellen, make sure these.
I give the man a nod.
Yeah, and he's like turning to the barmaid. Ellen, make sure they get some good cups to go with that. Some of the bigger cups for the bigger fellas. And I don't know, he's kind of like taking a pause, and he's like, "You seem familiar, dwarf. If I recall correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't drink, do you?"
That'd be.
Yeah, only reason I know is because whenever I thought I seen you here before, you didn't order anything to drink, and it just caught me off guard to remember that. Is there something I can get for you, dwarf?
Just tea will do.
Tea. Ellen, make some tea for the dwarf friend here, and we'll make you all nice, warm, and comfy for the night. So if there's anything else you need, you let me or Ellen know. Apparently, you're the only guest we have here for now, so enjoy the peace and quiet. And then a random lightning bolt kind of hits the air, and you can kind of hear the thunder crashing. Well, maybe there's a little bit of interruption, but it's only natural.
Back outside.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, shut up.
Sorry. But yeah, you guys have the rest of the night to do whatever you want. And then if there's nothing you want to do specifically, like if there's conversations that we need to have, let's have them. But if there's nothing specifically, we could jump into the next morning and you can start exploring Felran before you head out again.
At some point in the night, Lucian's gonna just take that bottle of wine and go see maybe some friends that are Garens up here or something of the sort.
Yeah, there's
just share here. Know if there's any rumors they've heard.
Make an investigation check while you're kind of like having a outing with your friends at the garrison that you might know. Ooh, nice. Just kind of like following up, they do have the main talk about the ethereal bleed. Like, it's starting to become more frequent. Have you noticed? Like, before it was just like maybe a once a week thing, but it's like every night almost now. It's like something crazy's happening. I don't know what's going on. That's like the main thing that they keep bringing up. But there's also like talk about the silver dragon who just had his hoard touched. Nobody knows who did it, but this dragon claims that this dragonborn is black scaled and he must have went this way. But nobody has seen like this specific black dragonborn that he's looking for. Is there anything in specific that you're really like honing in? Like, are you bringing up any conversation pieces you're trying to fish information for, or?
Just what the boys know about the Derelites. The dragon I mentioned, I came across as well. Freaking thing was bigger than a house. You know, just making small talk with the boys.
Right. Yeah. So like, any additional triggers I was like trying to fish for, but like if you're not fishing for anything other than that, they kind of like tell you, yeah, that's like the main...
How close are we to where we're going?
You're roughly 25 miles away, so it wouldn't be no more than a day to get there. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask the boys if they know anything about the what was it, the Dragon Pass or something?
Dragon Spine.
Dragon Spine.
Dragon Spine. Apparently some sort of weird situations happening.
Oh, really? I mean, we've been
cultists, maybe?
Huh. So basically with this investigation, well, we are kind of aware that there's been some cult activity, but there's been like 2 different groups acting right now, and we don't know who to follow after. You're aware of the Hill of Might, right? We think they might be behind it, but it might also be this Tiamat cultist too, which might also explain why that dragon was running after this other dragonborn. I mean, I don't know. It's speculation, and maybe it's connected, maybe it's not. Who knows?
You said Hilton Might. Those are the people Zareth mentioned that.
Yep, Hill of Might.
Okay.
Like, they've had run-ins with the Hill before, like in the military, and you have too. Like, they've been able to like stage an entire brigade of people to fight for them if they need it. What are you doing?
That was a click. Misclick. Just
about to say, are you casting Guardian Faith inside the tavern? Are you drunk again, Cindy?
No.
And nobody is safe. Everybody make a dexterity. No, just kidding.
All right. I'll put my own up, and we'll have friggin' Pokemon battles.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So welcome to Pokemon. But yeah, you guys. So that's like the information you were able to suss out on that little trip. So
all right, I'll tell everyone in the morning because there's probably some late night drinking, just having fun.
Yeah, by all means. And like I said, is there anybody else needing to do anything before the night ends?
Well, during dinner, I would like to speak to Lucilin.
All right.
Lucilin, that crossbow that you have, you said that you wrote something on it in Primordial.
Yeah, that I did. And I just take it out, show it briefly.
So, where did you pick up that language?
School, actually. Well, my parents and my schooling kind of has to do with magical theory and the elements and some sort of arcane bullshit. You have to know how the elements speak and work to properly cast certain types of spells. Just something I picked up as a child. Why do you ask?
Well, a couple of days ago I bought a map and I want to mark it, but not easily readable. Can you write me down a couple of... is it written in glyphs, runes, or...
Runes, I would... DM, I think it's runes, right? Elementals.
I could say it probably is, yeah.
Yeah, runes, yeah.
If you could... write
couldn't
down
you just
some
make up your
runes.
own code?
Well, I would like to do that. And I want to throw them off with that.
Oh, so you want an element, primordial base?
No, what I have in mind is just something, a kind of shorthand. And I would like to use those runes for it, but it won't be primordial.
Crickets.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, you can show. Because someone only knows the primordial runes. So, yeah. You can just write down the primordial runes for you.
You can make your own cipher. I mean, you don't even have to go this route. Like, thieves can.
I know, just like every other thief in the city.
You make your own version.
Well, I mean, I could give you the primordial alphabet, just write it down, and you can make a cipher out of that if you
Sure, that would be nice. Thank you.
Alright, I'll have it done. I'll do it tomorrow if you don't mind. I need to go check on some of.
Yeah, sure. I'm not really in a hurry about it anyway.
Alright then.
Alright, so any other nightly business we need to take care of before a long rest overwhelms you guys?
Not for me.
Everybody else is quiet. I'm going to assume that's a no. What's
going
up?
to just shine up my armor to present myself as.
Alright, so you're doing some maintenance. And then eventually...
Doing my own.
What are you doing?
My normal.
Okay, yeah. And with that, everybody has a long rest. Can I get a... Yeah, let's get a wisdom save from Sydney. Yeah, that will fail. You find yourself having nightmares. And every so often you kind of wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. Like, this won't be enough to, like, disrupt your sleep. But I believe there was an event that brought these on. Can you remind me what that was? Because I know I have you doing this for a reason. Maybe I'm just doing it just to fuck with you. I don't know.
Well, there was the fact. When I was drunk, talking about how Leo's dog died.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yep. So
Slightly.
you're having nightmares of the fox running around in your dreams, and then all of a sudden you're like happy about it, and all of a sudden the fox just dies on the spot, decays, withers, and then it's nothing but a dust in the wind. And you just kind of wake up in a cold sweat every so often from that. You think sometimes you're hearing a soft cackle, but you know, it's just your offsetting dream. You're able to get back to sleep and continue your long rest, but you know, it just kind of sticks with you, so you're free to bring that up if you wish, but otherwise, you know, this might end depending upon how many saves you get. But other than that, we kind of like come to the next morning. Everybody kind of wakes up. You can start the morning however you guys want.
I'll just, over breakfast, looking a tiny bit hungover, I'll just quietly say, spoke to the boys last night. It seems that we're either dealing with the cult of Tiamat or that group you know up there.
They're dealing with it?
Pardon?
Oh. Well, It's a good thing someone looks into it then.
Yeah, the boys think it's either one or the other, or the two of them are competing against each other for something.
Well, let's see if we can drag things along and make sure that they wipe themselves out.
Right, but that's what I could find out. I had.
Wasn't Tiamat that cult that we ran into, Zareth, with the statue?
Yes, that was the Tiamat cult.
Yeah, the reason why we got Riley.
And the whole castle climbing wall thingy.
That was a good episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're all having this breakfast and having this conversation.
Well, it might be a good idea to buy some food for the horses.
You
I
seem to
don't
be
know.
handling it pretty well.
Yeah, but I don't know how long you can live off that.
Mechanically speaking, I'm pretty sure you can live on indefinitely food-wise on Goodberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sustains them for a whole day.
But then again, don't you want to eat something different after a couple of days?
There are also horses.
Yeah, well, let's do it this way then. Make stuff easier. I would like to visit Granny, though.
Alright, so what's the agenda of everybody? I hear Granny.
Well, Cindy comes down more official. Get herself for the talking sister.
You really gotta figure out what's going on with that mic. It just keeps cutting you off. Can you go to push to talk and then just hold it? Hello?
One sec.
Okay. Do 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 do. Your second is up.
Right, so you're all gonna see some sort of grandmother.
I'm a green dragonborn.
Is this better?
Well, yeah, for now.
For now?
Alright, so tell me what
It
you said
sounds so,
earlier.
yes.
Let me hear what you had to say earlier. Okay, you're not saying anything. What did you tell me earlier? I didn't hear any of it.
Just to pretty yourself up.
Oh, okay, now I can hear you plainly. There you go. You're good. Alright, so you're just getting pretty. Got it. So everybody finishes breakfast, and then they're going to make for Al-Yi Chemical. So, you know, you're able to make a short walk, and I believe you go left, and then go up a block or two, and you can see this sign that says AL, and then there's a space, and there's YE, and then there's a space under that, and it like has chemical at the bottom, so it's Al-Yi Chemical. And you know, most of you are familiar with this place. You've been, and loosely might have been here once or twice, but it's like not a place that I don't think you would commonly go to, unless you're looking for herbs.
Not really.
So as you walk in, you see behind the counter this green-skinned dragonborn. You can definitely tell by the way she's kind of slumped in her, like she's slumped in like a chair behind the counter. She's like maybe knitting something since it's getting colder out. She's like knitting like maybe a scarf or something. And she sees you all come in and is like, "Ah, good day. Welcome back. I believe I remember some of you." And everybody knows her as Greta Feltrance, the Touched.
No, she's Granny.
But you guys call her Granny.
I believe she told us to call her Granny at one point, which is why we do so.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going over with my notes here. Been a while. So, it's been a while. What brings you into my shop?
on our way through, going to Dragon Spawn. Figured we'd stop in and say hi, see how you're doing, see if you got anything
yes.
new.
Well, I've been working on some nice poisons and sorts. Thanks for your transaction way back when. It helped me succeed in supplying the army with the needed necessities to take care of business, but seems that business got taken care of elsewise. Is there anything you are seeking, perhaps?
Well,
This is your potion shop, guys. If you need any
Oh,
potions.
potion shop? Okay.
Yes.
Shop.
poison.
Potions.
It's potions too.
And poisons. I deal in alchemy. And I have 3 greater healing potions that I just brewed yesterday. And then there's about 5 regular healing potions if you're in need. You can hear her kind of coughing a bit.
I think we gotta do something about that coffee yours.
It comes with the territory of old age. Kind of slowly
I mean,
gets
I'm
that.
assuming this is a lesser restoration situation, like a cough.
Well, she is kind of old, so it.
It's just kind of old, but old people just get sick more often. It doesn't mean they're old,
Yeah,
so they
that's
start
true.
coughing.
Well, I mean, she stands. It's up to you. I'm not. Yeah, it could probably work.
I mean, it doesn't cost me shit.
Then roll a medicine check along with it to see how well it affects her.
I mean, the spell cures it. There's no roll there.
Yeah, but I'm considering her age a factor in this. I mean, you got medicine check, right?
I've got medicine.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're able to fully focus this restoration to help take care of her ailments and whatnot to this point. So, tell me how this works. Like, how do you want to go about it? Because she's slowly getting up. She's kind of coughing a bit, and she's like, well, so, what can I help you with? Then,
Well, I was gonna be a little sneaky with it.
yeah, by all means. You wanna do a sleight of hand while you do it?
No, when I went to shake her
Or-
hand as we leave, or
Okay.
something,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all I'm asking. Like, how are you approaching it? So you go out to shake her hand. She kind of offers it.
Well, as we leave.
Oh, you're gonna
this
do
is
it
something
after.
to do at the end.
So at the end of the transaction. All right. In that case, then
It's like I did with her arthritis forever ago.
forever to go. Yeah. So basically, mechanic-wise, are any of you in need of potions?
Me?
The greater healing is, I believe, 250. Is that right? Might be more. I'll check. But I know the 5 regular healing are 50 gold each. Wow, this thing says they're 150. I'll let that fly.
Sure.
I'm using that one guide that we printed off. So
Oh, the same magical items pricing good.
yeah. So we'll go 150 gold for greater, but 50 gold for the lessers or the
Cat-
original.
I'll take all the lesser she has.
So that'll be 250, or yeah. 250.
Done.
Done. I'm taking your money. Thank you for your patronage. And
Thank you very much.
she kind of coughs a little bit more. Now, what about these greater potions? Would you guys like to take them with you as well? You look like you're bound for hell.
I haven't been there yet. Came close.
That is
Groucho
true.
is her cat. Groucho is not Grandma's cat.
No,
that's why I
Granny
believe.
doesn't. Yeah, Granny don't have it. He just wants to hug that mic. So, yeah, what are we doing about any other purchases, or is there anything else you guys want to shop for?
Well,
The graders are 150.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and deduct that down.
Are you gonna pick them both up, or?
Yeah, I'll grab them both
All right, so 300.
because
for the
I'm
both.
literally just hoarding them at this point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Regular potion.
You broke out again. What did you say?
Lucien bought all those.
Yeah, Lucien bought all the.
So,
Yeah.
so, Greta, do you have anything of the less healthy kind?
Glad you asked, my child. Let's see what new brews I've made. I'm just gonna make some general checks for her. I'll say she has 3 vials ready, and we'll see how potent they are. One is just a regular poison. One looks like water.
One looks like water.
Yeah, rolled a 1. I rolled a 5, 1, and a 14. And considering her bonuses, the natural one. She's looking at the one that's kind of watery. She's like, huh, that one did not take. Weird. And then she kind of unstops the cork and drinks the water in it and then puts it back down. And then she's like, this one here is your basic poison. You could probably apply it twice. These vials aren't that big, you see. I can let that go for about 25 gold. But this one here might have a little bit more concentrated to it. And mechanically speaking, the lesser poison can do 1d6 on a coated dagger or weapon on a hit, and then the other one can do 2d6.
What is the price for the more concentrated one?
Yes, that'll be 75 gold.
Sure, I'll take that.
Thank you. And she kind of like counts your change as she's like, you got a soft smile on her face for a green scale dragonborn as she puts the money away and hands you the concentrated vial that does 2d6 on contact with the weapon. So you can coat your weapon with it. You know the rules, right?
Yes, and I can coat it
twice,
I believe.
Yeah, these vials only have enough for 2 applications, so there you go. And then
Greta.
Yes, my child.
A while ago, I started an alchemy lab, and I found someone that is rather interested in poisons as well. Maybe you would like someone to correspond with, trade out ideas.
Sorry about that. I got interrupted, so I muted on OBS there, so you guys didn't hear all that nonsense. Okay, so what did you say to her again? About the poison. Okay, never mind. I heard you. I was.
Yeah, the correspondence with Myria.
Myria. Who is that? I'm gonna see if she knows her. Like, even though there's a circle of poisoners, perhaps it's not. Yeah, she has.
I didn't give her name. I just said I had someone that was very interested in that work, and if she wanted to share ideas with that person.
It's a possibility, but you could send them my way sometime. I mean, I'm always here, willing to hear things.
I believe he was talking about letters, not actual visits.
I was talking about letters, yes.
I suppose I can hear them out, but I'm not just... You have them send word, and I'm willing to at least read up on them, if that's okay.
Sure, I appreciate your offer.
And she like spits a loogie into the trash can, and it like bubbles for a minute. Oh, spitting up poison already. So,
one of these days, she's gonna realize like arthritis left for the first time we left for, good.
Mm-hmm.
And now her cough's gonna clear up the second time we left. Like she's gonna be like, "Stop fucking doing this shit! Let me die!"
Yeah, let me die, you fuck. Oh yeah. So yeah.
Groucho tail off people.
So, is there any other purchases here we wish to make? As Greta's finishing her transaction with Zareth.
There's nothing I need here.
Very well.
Nope. I'll shake her hand, thank her for her time, and walk out.
And she'll take your hand, and I suppose at that moment you cast the Greater Resto?
The lesser, yeah.
Or Lesser, I mean, yeah. So she's like, always a pleasure to see you, dwarf.
Keep upgrading.
Thank you. Come again. I look forward to seeing you all return safely. And at that point, you guys are free to leave.
Fucking better. I'm loaded for bear with potions.
I shared it.
Yeah, right? So, we're getting close to our 3.5 hour mark and going towards our 4. Do we want to call it here? Or do you guys
Unless we really want to try to introduce people to Cricket again.
Yeah,
Isn't Cricket shop here as well?
Yeah, Cricket's here.
I haven't met that guy
Cricket,
yet.
which Cricket is Brigitte's excitable cousin.
Yeah, I was thinking, is she the same as Brigitte? I believe she is.
Pretty much.
Like, she might not push things on you. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, she's not as.
But I also don't think we need much anything. Although we might go on that spyglass she was trying to sell ages ago.
Don't you already have like built-in spyglasses with your?
Other people don't.
I know, but I was thinking if you could get like extra zoom or something.
Oh, so I can see in 4K Ultra HD?
Yeah.
Too bad the stream doesn't stream in 4K. I apologize, guys. But hey. Alright, so we're going to Cricket's, right?
General wear shop, people. This is what she, that's what she sells.
This is what she sells. She sells everything in the book. Like, if you were in Tynak, oh my god, I don't even know if I have the energy right now for that. But this one here should be a lot easier, I think, because I'm starting to remember who she is. So, you go to Cricket Stocks. It's a general shop here. And you walk in, you see Cricket, and it's a half-elf woman. She's dressed in, like, leathers, and she carries, like, there's a bow behind the counter that you can clearly see. So you know her trade is something of a range-type attacker. Or, she must have been a hunter of some sort. But at any rate, you can sell and trade hides, as there's like a sign that's like above her shop that says taking hides to be traded. And then there's basically your general store type setup. Like, there's stocked shelves, there's stocked tables with different items. Like, for instance, there are vials, there's ammunition for arrows, blowgun needles. I don't know why we would have that. Crossbow bolts, sling bullets, we have arcane...
A silent ranged attack option for stealthy people?
If only they would use it, right? You can buy bedrolls here. You want some ball bearings? We got ball bearings. And,
Can I buy a new pair of manacles?
You probably can, yeah, I believe
I need daggers.
Yes, please.
Oh, you want a dagger too? Yeah, sure, we could do that.
By the way, Google has no chill today.
Google has no chill today. Did you Google manacles?
I will send it to you about a guy inside.
Is it as bad as my house on Haunted Hill?
A little. Not that bad, though.
So, to go for a new dagger, you want manacles. I believe that's like, what, a gold or two? To go for manacles. Okay. And, yeah, this smiling half-elf just kind of cheerfully looks at you all and is like, so, is there anything else I can help you all with today?
How much for those empty files?
Oh, these here are just like, I could sell you 10 of them for a gold piece.
Sure, I'll take them.
Alright, so you got 10 empty vials. Take a gold off. And just kind of like naming stuff off. She's like, we got climber kits in case you need to do some climbing. We got ropes. We got sacks. We got shovels. The usual. There's some rings here that look like signet rings, but this one here might even be a decoder. I don't know. It's got a spinny thing on top of it. And then there's this spyglass. This is probably the most precious item in the shop, and it's like right there on the counter, like being displayed. And she just kind of goes around. Yeah, what else can I get for you?
How much was she wanting for that spyglass?
They go for
It was
1,000.
something stupid earlier.
It was 1,000 gold pieces, and yeah, 1,000 gold.
So the thing is, Zareth actually was starting to go like spotting.
That would allow you to see further and make perception checks, probably at advantage, if that's something you were looking into. But it's got 1,000 gold price tag on it, and that's the player's handbook price for it, not me.
God knows we have enough.
Yeah, so it's up to you if you want to
Well-
cough that up. That'll be
And a bunch of climbers kit. If I remember correctly, the terrain for the job was hilly, mountainish, right?
You don't know. I mean, you know there's mountains nearby, but you don't know exactly where this job's going to take you yet. And you will be coming up to a new town after this one, so it's safe to say, like, if you're going to make preparations, you can do so at that town as well.
Yeah, I don't have the money for the spyglass, so I'll skip on that.
No, I definitely have the money for a spyglass.
Yeah, so do you want a spyglass?
Yes, that would be nice.
So are you going to buy the spyglass?
Go ahead and mark that down. Whoever's gonna have it.
So you hand over either like 1,000 gold pieces that you had in your bag of holding, or maybe you had like the checks, right? The arcane checks that we have. We have a nice little arcane check system in this campaign. Make things easy. But either
Instead
way,
of carrying around hundreds of thousands
yeah,
of silver, and copper, and all that. Yeah, no.
yeah, it's easier to have lighter metals on you. So easily enough, she's like, well, thank you very much. I'm so, like, this is a hard sell because it's so expensive. And you look at it, it's made out of like gold plating, perhaps. Maybe some gem decorations on the outside, and then the glass is like pristine. Like, this thing is decked out beautiful just to look at. And then you look through it, make adjustments, and you can see far off. And I don't know, Zareth, are you looking through it as soon as you get it?
I will walk outside to see its effect.
Ruined my bit. Alright. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage.
I'm gonna stand in front of him, in front of the spyglass, and open my mouth.
Okay, that might help my bit. I don't know. Alright, let's see what his perception turns into.
24.
24. You could see tonsils right up on you. They look elvish in shape. If you know what elvish tonsils look like, I don't know.
I mean, he's half elvish, so they kind of look like his own.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
He's probably stabbed out enough tonsils by now in his career.
At any rate, so yeah, he's got his mouth wide open in front of your thing there. You can see the lens fogging up a little bit as he's like,
I put the spyglass down.
I quickly move out of the way and pretend like I'm in his...
I mean, it's not hard to notice him, but it's like, yeah.
I look at him and I say, you got a hole in your teeth. You should probably get that looked over.
Good point.
It's sad. I was hoping you would do it in this store, and I was going to say, you zoom in on her cleavage, but apparently we didn't get that bit.
And I'm gonna make a deception check for that.
Sure. Alright, so
21.
if you want to insight him to see if he's lying about the hole in your teeth. You are convinced that there must be a hole in one of your teeth.
Hey, Bolden, can you deal with cavities or something of the sort?
Our cleric has become the dentist?
I don't want to be a toy maker. I want to be a dentist.
Oh my god, that takes me back. 'Tis the season, right?
No, the hell it's not.
Ah, I like Rudolph.
Yeah, I just don't like Christmas happening before November's over, and I saw the damn thing before November was over already.
In this campaign, yeah. We got another one, don't worry. But,
Alright,
Beat the fuck out of you.
Can I sell my scimitar here? Possible.
do you want to summon your scimitar here? Is that what you said?
Sell a
Oh! How many fucking scimitars do you have? I thought you already sold
just
it.
one. I tried to sell it, but then Borden didn't know it.
How
You
much?
try to sell it at the auction.
Oh, yeah, the auction, remember? It's not... Like, you were trying to make it into a fancy piece, which I was going to let you try to do. But...
Yeah, except you could ruin our bloody reputation with the auctioneers.
that is true, too. So, yeah, if you're just selling it straight... Let's see here. Scimitars are 25 gold. Cricket will buy it for 10.
Can I persuade for
How do you plan on sweetening that?
this once I scimitar 5 Luma?
Yeah, you really need to figure out what's up with that mic. No, she's like, Lumina or no Lumina, it's still 10 gold. That's all I can afford. Sorry. And
Okay.
you're here thinking...
All she can afford.
Yeah.
you know,
You're all
1,000
like,
gold
didn't I
with
just hand you
spyglass.
1,000? Yeah, you're like, didn't I just hand you 1,000 gold? But yeah, she offers you 10 gold for that. And
I mean, it's a shrewd enough business decision. I'm not faulting her.
oh no, yeah, she's got bills to pay, and apparently she'll be able to pay them for a while. No telling how much she paid, but you know, that's a different story. So everybody finishes up their shopping. Is there anything else before we close?
Did I get my dagger?
Yeah, 2 gold.
Okay.
Just a regular dagger. So you get a new dagger. Was there anything else? Anything we missed? Everybody cool?
Yep.
Yep. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and close out now as it kind of zooms to black. This gives me time to plan out Dragon Spine a little further because I didn't know which way you would go today because I did spend some time updating the little board and everything. So, yay, we got a direction. So we're going to go there. So I'll have that ready for us next week. But everybody tuning in today could tune in Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central for the Tyneck Kingdom D&D session that we host at 7 p.m. where you can see Lexi and the rest of some of these guys jump in and actually do some... What are we doing? Fight pit? Yeah, we got a fight pit we're working on. We're, what else?
Well, we have to get out of the one we're in right now because you stopped us before our payout.
Yeah, I had to because it was getting really late. We went 4 hours on that day. Oh, more actually. So, congrats. Well, you're welcome. So yeah,
I still won. I want my money.
You did, and I have time to think
I got
about.
second place.
Yeah, you got it. It was an interesting fight. Check out the VODs or the YouTube channel for playlist if you want to catch up on that. But join us 7 o'clock p.m. on Wednesdays. I will try to stream like maybe Final Fantasy 11 throughout the week. Maybe I'll have some friends who will play with me. I don't know. There's a private server I want to try. So tune in for that. And we're just going to shoot the breeze about anything D&D. You're welcome to join the chat. Join the Discord if you like. And we will join these guys again next week Sunday at 12 p.m. Central. And with that, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we close? Alright. Everybody say goodnight to Twitch.
Nope. Well,
Say goodnight to Twitch and goodnight to the archives.
night.
Bye, everyone.
Five.
And with that, do you hear the calling? Somebody needs to.